2. 20%. Chapter 101 Fire Control Radar, Shooting Stabilizer. With Qin Tian's choice to activate the Xinhai Overlord title, I saw that the 4 characters of Xinhai Overlord, which were still somewhat gloomy, suddenly became radiant. Coupled with the dazzling amethyst-colored light constantly emitting from the periphery, there is really a feeling of radiance. At this time, the activate option after the title has also changed to equipable. Qin Tian tried to equip it. Then he saw directly above his gunboat 4 radiant amethyst-colored characters appeared. The entire title is still scattered with noble purple light rain. Let the whole battleship look extremely noble and beautiful. Such a stunning scene almost stunned the girls in the studio. They clamored for World of Warships to choose them too, so that they can also be God's chosen ones and give themselves a title for fun. And, 2020, in the World of Warships, when Qin Tian experienced the special effects of this title, the whole person immediately removed the title without hesitation. Joke. Before you have absolutely powerful strength, there is such a big and bright title on the top of the head. Isn't that telling people in a radius of tens of nautical miles? Come quickly, Qin Tian, am waiting for you here. Maybe he can play like this in novice sea territory. But wait until you enter the real waters of the World of Warships. He has to dare to do this. That is absolutely no different from courting death. Although no country's chosen one has evolved an aircraft carrier in the current World of Warships sea area. But there are still some heavy cruisers and light cruisers. At that time, once the old gods chosen of those foreign devils are seduced, then he has 100% completely finished playing. Anyway, as long as the title is activated, it will have attribute bonuses. Equipped or not equipped does not matter. After seeing the appearance of the title and satisfying my curiosity, Qin Tian came to the bow deck immediately. There, a golden treasure chest was quietly placed. It was his number 1 treasure chest. Reach out and touch the lines on the treasure chest. Then he clasped the lid with his fingers and squeezed a little harder. He lifted the top cover of the treasure chest. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the Advanced Fire Control Radar Blueprint ×1. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the Epic Battleship Lighting Set ×1. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the Epic Shooting Stabilizer ×1. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the special stainless steel toilet for battleships ×10. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 5,000 fine wood. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the fine linen 5,000. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 5,000 fine metal pieces. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining the excellent plastic 5,000. Looking at the newly exploded piles of items and supplies on the deck, a faint smile appeared on Qin Tian's face immediately. Not to mention those high-quality materials and 10 stainless steel toilets, as well as the large box of battleship lighting suits. Just Advanced Fire Control Radar Blueprint and Epic Shooting Stabilizer are good things. Once his battleship has a fire control radar, wait until the gunboat is upgraded to a frigate. When anti-ship missiles, anti-aircraft missiles and near anti-gun weapons are unlocked later, the fire control system requires fire control radar for tracking and guidance. Whether it is missile tracking and bombing targets or close-in defense gun searching and intercepting missiles, fire control radar is essential equipment. The shooting stabilizer is to assist the fire control system to aim as much as possible in the weather of heavy rain and waves, so as to reduce the instability caused by the turbulence of the battleship when launching naval guns and torpedoes. Qin Tian, who was wearing a military uniform, walked over. Pick up the Advanced Fire Control Radar Blueprint first. Item: Advanced Fire Control Radar Blueprint. Quality: blue. Production requirements: 1,000 ordinary plastics, 1,000 ordinary metal sheets, 1,000 ordinary nails, 30 shark teeth. Efficacy: it is used to make drawings of advanced fire control radars, which can provide precise tracking and guidance functions for anti-ship, anti-aircraft missiles and near anti-guns. Ordinary advanced: 2,000 ordinary plastic, 2,000 ordinary metal sheet, 2,000 ordinary nail, 50 sea animal teeth. High-quality goods advanced: 3,000 ordinary plastics, 3,000 ordinary metal sheets, 3,000 ordinary nails, 50 elite sea beast teeth. Advanced: 2,000 high-quality plastics, 2,000 high-quality metal sheets, 2,000 high-quality nails, 30 top-quality sea animal teeth. Look at the materials needed for this advanced fire control radar. Qin Tian couldn't help frowning slightly. Why do you need sea beast teeth? It seems that I have to hunt some sharks and sea beasts recently. Otherwise, wait until the supplies in his hand are sufficient. Not to mention the Genesis class 57mm naval gun, I guess he can't even make the fire control radar in his hand. Helplessly shook his head. Qin Tian looked at the epic shooting stabilizer again. Item: Epic shooting stabilizer. Quality: purple. Efficacy: the installation can assist the fire control system to the greatest extent against the influence of heavy rain and big waves, and can effectively improve the accuracy of naval guns and torpedoes. Ordinary reinforcement: 1000 ordinary plastic, 1000 ordinary metal sheet, 30 sea beast teeth. Strengthening can increase hit rate by 2%. High quality goods enhancement: ordinary plastic 2000, ordinary metal sheet 2000, elite sea beast teeth 50. Strengthening can increase the hit rate by 5%. Advanced advancement: 1000 high quality plastics, 1000 high quality metal sheets, 50 top quality sea animal teeth. Strengthening can increase the hit rate by 10%. How come this is also the best sea beast tooth? After Qin Tian read the enhanced attributes of the shooting stabilizer, I was so speechless that I almost didn't curse out loud. Shook his head, although the 10% hit rate made him a little excited. But he held back. He did not use the last 50 top-grade white shark teeth in his hand to strengthen this epic shooting stabilizer. Currently, the hit rate of his enhanced radar system and fire control system is almost enough. Instead of wasting 50 super sea beast teeth on the shooting stabilizer, it is better to accumulate. When will it be enough for 257mm naval guns that directly made the Genesis? 3.2 That's the top priority he needs right now. Is really good stuff. After putting advanced fire control radar blueprint and epic shooting stabilizer in the control room, Qin Tian set his sights on the epic battleship lighting set and the stainless steel toilet dedicated to battleships. He put aside the somewhat complicated lighting equipment first. Moved 10 stainless steel toilets to the men's and women's restrooms in the cabin. Put 5 on each side. Installing the special stainless steel toilet for warships requires 10 ordinary metal sheets and 10 ordinary plastics. Will the captain install it? See this tip. Qin Tian waved his hand. It is very arrogant to directly consume 100 units of ordinary metal sheets and 100 units of ordinary plastics to install all 10 stainless steel toilets. 20%. Chapter 102 Out of Novice Village, the Real World of Warships. For the current Qin Tian, 100 units of common supplies. Wouldn't that just come right away? Install these toilets. Look at the whole bathroom again. Immediately it was like that. Qin Tian nodded in satisfaction. After finishing the bathroom, he then returned to the deck. Take apart the big box containing the lighting equipment by hand. I saw big and small inside. There are dozens or hundreds of lighting lamps of different models. There are a lot of bow lights installed on the bow, mast lights on the top of the mast, side lights on the highest deck on both sides, and tail lights and all-round lights. Qin Tian spent the whole morning, after consuming nearly 1,000 units of common plastic. Finally, I installed all the lights up and down, inside and out. Not to mention, these lights are installed in this way. The aggressive style of the whole gunboat was raised several levels in an instant. At least when I go down to the cabin below the deck at night. No more relying on that poor dim light bulb for lighting. Grilled fish steak at noon. After filling the stomach with a few cucumbers, Qin Tian 11 spent an afternoon hunting for elite sharks. He opened the plain map of divine detective technique. Control the gunboat and wander around the world to find the troubles of those elite sharks. As a result, a dozen were found. All are normal sharks. This made Qin Tian lose his motivation like a deflated rubber ball. In the evening, I ate some fruit casually. After nightfall, he went down to the cabin below deck. Appreciate the masterpiece that I have made all morning during the day. I saw that the entire deck was brightly lit, just like daytime. This made Qin Tian nodded in satisfaction. There is a sense of déjà vu that seems to have returned to the outside world. And in the time-space live broadcast room, many people who were watching Qin Tian's live broadcast witnessed this modern-style cabin. They couldn't help being amazed. This batch of lighting is so powerful that it feels like the cabin below has evolved from an industrial life in 2019 to a developed modern civilization. It's really good. The little yellow light bulb before made me feel dizzy and nauseous. By the way, after 12 o'clock tonight, the god chosen in Novice Sea region should be sent to the real world of warships, right? Yeah, it only takes 4 or 5 hours. I really look forward to Qin Shen's grand plans in World of Warships. Hey, stop daydreaming. World of Warships is not as simple as Novice Sea territory. There, frigates walk all over the place, destroyers are as numerous as dogs, and light and heavy cruisers are often seen. How many bosses do you think Qin Tian can withstand the pursuit of that small gunboat? Of course, it was impossible for Qin Tian to know about the discussions in the live broadcast room. At this moment, he considered that he was about to be teleported into the real world of warships at 12 o'clock in the evening. I can't help but have some small expectations in my heart. Last life, he really suffered a lot in World of Warships. Back then, he was still naively thinking about meeting some adventures in World of Warships. Then Woohoo, which changed its fate against the sky, took off. As a result, after actually going in, only then did he realize that those good places were all firmly occupied by major forces. He wants to develop a new island by looking around. But at that time, he was still rowing with oars, and he could only imagine in his heart. And this life, with so much heritage. He didn't believe that he couldn't make a name for himself in the world of warships. Dee. Just when the crescent moon bends and rises higher and higher. Suddenly, a reminder of a private message sounded in his mind. Open it and have a look. I saw Nangong La sent him a message. Boss, are you asleep yet? Qin Tian was a little curious about how this girl contacted him at this time. Immediately replied, no, waiting for the transmission at 12 o'clock. Me too. Nangong happily responded to the message in seconds. Boss, I've been thinking about it for a day, but I can't decide whether to develop by myself first. Or contact the military department first and join the military department directly. Please help me make an idea. Do you still have to ask me? Qin Tian was speechless. However, it is combined with the historical trajectory of the other party's previous life. Qin Tian quickly gave a suggestion. If you have confidence in your abilities, I advise you to develop yourself for a while first. Then he continued, just left the novice C area, not to mention whether the military department will directly accept you into the ranks, but if you want to search for resources efficiently and freely after joining, it will be much more difficult to quickly upgrade. And at this time, your battleship is a fishing boat with little combat effectiveness, so it will naturally not receive much attention. If you can collect some supplies by yourself in a short time, upgrade the battleship to a gunboat, or even a frigate, then you join the military department, then the treatment can be very different. Oh, I understand, thank you, boss, then I will work hard on my own for a while, and I will join after the battleship is upgraded to a frigate. Big brother, I will go search for supplies first, bye. Finished. There was no movement at Nangongal. Qin Tian, on the other hand, looked at the other person's portrait in a daze. I don't know if my rebirth will bring bad changes to this future female general. Hope nothing unexpected happens. Sighed. Qin Tian immediately lay on the bed, quietly waiting for 12 midnight to come. The result is such a lie. The soft and comfortable rubber bed quickly put him into a hypnotic sleep. When I wake up again, it was already the next morning. He actually fell asleep again. The high-quality sleep attribute of the wooden bed is too powerful, right? 367 Just lie on it. Even if you don't want to sleep, you can be coaxed to sleep unconsciously. Helplessly shook his head. Qin Tian immediately stood up from the bed like a carp. Quickly came to the porthole to check the situation outside. All I saw was a cloudless clear sky. There is no difference in the vast expanse of the sea. It seems that there are no islands in the place where I was teleported. Qin Tian shook his head somewhat disappointed. In the previous life, when someone just passed through, he found that he was randomly landed not far from an island. I thought it was a European emperor. But who knew that guy would soon alarm the pirates entrenched on the island? Soon he was murdered. Shaking his head, he put these troubles behind him. He immediately opened the chat channel. Want to see what's going on now? Malcolm at everyone. First level power Guangming Fort is recruited, and newcomers who want to join can contact me directly. Jonas at Qin Tian. Despicable yellow-skinned monkey, I heard that you have a lot of good things there. I plan to exchange wood for your special artifact, come out and give me a squeak. Carl Lauder at Qin Tian. Yanlong people, I hope you don't die in a short time, your life and your things will be mine sooner or later. Shan Zhengshou at Qin Tian. Ziba, Qin Tian, I heard that you have a few good fruit trees. Such a good thing is not something you can keep. I have already added you as a friend. If you are sensible, please agree. 20%. Chapter 103 Discuss business with Yanlong Navy. Looking at a lot of friendly at his chat speech in the chat channel. Qin Tian smiled indifferently. Then I set my sights on another option, national channel below. Yes, after leaving Novice Village, the real world of warships has two chat channels. One is the current world chat channel. The other is their respective country chat channels. With a thought, Qin Tian selected the national channel. I saw that all of them were the portraits of the chosen ones of the Yanlong Empire. Big brothers, can anyone tell me what's going on in the world chat channel? Why are those foreign devils all at Qin Tian? I just woke up with a dazed look on my face. Is the sleeper upstairs stupid? Forgot the announcement made by the will of the planet yesterday. This Qin Tian is the first rookie king among all of our chosen ones, and the title function is because of him. Come on, I remembered, then this is our national treasure, so it must be well protected. It's not just a national treasure. One of the newcomers who joined yesterday was a friend of mine. I chatted with him. You guys definitely don't want to imagine how fierce this Qin Kai is. It is simply the hope of our empire. During the novice period, the Raft was upgraded to a large gunboat, and the entire Eurasian Federation was overwhelmed by one manpower. No direct descendant of the family dared to be arrogant anymore. Newbie, as long as the rookies of the past dynasties are at the same time as the super family heirs of those foreign devils, our chosen ones will be suppressed. There is no way this rookie king can actually counter the opponent. Zhang Zongjun at Qin Tian. Little friend Qin Tian, are you interested in joining our country's Yanlong Navy? General Zhang actually sent out an invitation in person. I'm envious. Hey, what are you envious of? If you can have half the ability of a big boss, our Yanlong Navy will still invite you. Seeing the Imperial Navy Vice Admiral Zhang Zongjun personally send out the invitation. Many gods chosen from the Yanlong Empire showed envy. And Qin Tian, after seeing here, but stretched his waist and replied in the channel. Qin Tian at Zhang. I'm sorry, General Zhang, I accidentally fell asleep yesterday and just woke up. Well, this junior is new here and wants to explore the world of warships. I don't want to be tied up early. Please forgive me, General Zhang. Lion actually refused. See Qin Tian's message. Countless Yanlong Empire's gods chosen were all stunned. Joining the Yanlong Navy not only relies on the empire, it is equivalent to being covered by a super powerful force. In addition to being able to go out to search for supplies during the rest period every week, you can also receive additional material subsidies from the military. It can be said that it is the dream of countless gods chosen. But Qin Tian rejected it so cleanly. For a while. Some people think that Qin Tian is young and exuberant. Some felt that Qin Tian was unrestrained, carefree and unrestrained. And Zhang Zongjun seemed to have expected Qin Tian to say that. Don't be in a hurry right away, and we'll send a message back soon. Zhang Jun at Qin Tian. Well, I know that young people like you like freedom, so you can play World of Warships for a while, and when you think about it, you can contact me. That's right, I've already added you as a friend. You agree, I just want to talk to you about some material transactions. Qin Tian saw the other party say so. Now open the friend request interface. Sure enough, I saw Zhang Zongjun's resolute and tough face portrait on it. He immediately agreed. He just agreed here. There was a message immediately. Hi Qin Tian, I heard that your water purifier can produce a lot of fresh water every day. Buy water. Qin Tian looked at this message. His eyes lit up immediately. He can now say that the most important thing he lacks is water. As the only military organization of Yanlong Empire in World of Warships, the transaction volume they propose is naturally not small. Certainly, in order to prevent himself from being targeted by major forces, he must not open up the water supply, but it is completely fine to sell 500 bottles a day. So Qin Tian immediately replied. No problem, I wonder how many bottles of water General Zhang you plan to have every day. Hearing Qin Tian's tone, Zhang Zongjun over there was stunned. What happened? According to the information provided by those newcomers, isn't the drinking water resource that Qin Wei's net crystal can provide is around 160 to 220 bottles per day? Why do you listen to this now? This is far more than I imagined. He thought about it and asked tentatively. Qin Tian, how many bottles of water can you provide us with every day? About 400 to 500 bottles. The specific output depends on the weather and whether I have any urgent matters that day. See the message from Qin Tian. Rao is so Zhang Zongjun is used to countless big scenes. At this moment, he was still shocked. One of the best quality water purifiers in their navy is the red mythical water purifier. Just rely on that water purifier. Only then can their navy barely guarantee that 7 out of 10 warships have enough fresh water every day. Let the combat effectiveness of the battleship be at its peak state all the time. But now look at Qin Tian's tone. Could this kid have also built a mythical water purifier? But he also knew that asking too much could easily leave a bad impression on the other party. So he suppressed his inner curiosity in time. He waved his hand directly. Then let's make a compromise. According to the daily volume of 400 to 450 bottles, the normal transaction price of water in World of Warships is 80 units for wood, flax, and plastic, and 40 units for metal sheets and rags. How about this price? Okay, no problem. After 3 years of survival in World of Warships, he naturally knows the transaction price of these materials. Seeing that there was no problem, I agreed happily. Anyway, selling who is not selling. It is also a good choice to be able to package and sell it to the Yanlong Empire's navy. As for whether there will be a God-favored person coming in this month to bring in the secrets about his creation-level water purifier, Qin Tian said he didn't care at all. Anyway, when he took a shower, he waited until the live broadcast room was closed before starting to take a shower. So how much water can his Genesis water purifier filter every day? It is also a mystery to those watching in this world. Oh, by the way, little friend Qin Tian, I heard that you still have some fruits. I wonder if you have an idea to pack and sell them. At this time, he received another message from Zhang Zongjun. Qin Tian directly rejected this. General Zhang, please forgive me. I plan to put the fruit in the auction house for auction. After all, I have offended too many foreign devils in the Novice Sea, and I need a lot of materials to improve myself as soon as possible. Zhang Zongjun took a look. Immediately, he could only sigh regretfully. Looks like it's over. 21%. Chapter 104 Giant Octopus King. World of Warships is on an island covering tens of thousands of square meters. Zhang Zongjun sat on his desk and rubbed his forehead helplessly. Judging from his profile picture, this kid should be around 24 or 5 years old. Why are you so shrewd? Then Qin Tian, can we trade drinking water now? After seeing the fruit trade turned yellow, Zhang Zongjun turned his head and quickly set his sights on water resources. If we can supply 450 more bottles of water every day in the future, then he can solve the problem of insufficient drinking water for 200 or 300 people in the Yanlong Navy. No problem, I just saved a lot before, and I can trade it when I pick up another 100 or 200 bottles. After finishing the information conversation with Zhang Zongjun, Qin Tian immediately made plastic bottles and started to hold water. After receiving 450 bottles, he sent a message back to the other party. Fixed. 450 bottles of water. General Zhang, please replace me with wood for 100 bottles of water, metal sheets for 200 bottles of water, and plastic for 150 bottles of water. Okay, no problem. After 2 or 3 minutes, the other party sent a transaction application directly. Qin Tian chose to accept. Put all 450 bottles of water on it. Immediately there also appeared the quantity of 3 kinds of materials. 8,000 units of poor quality wood. 8,000 units of inferior metal sheet. Low quality plastic 12,000 units. 350. See, the number is right. Qin Tian chose to agree. The first business deal with Yanlong Navy was successfully completed in this way. After going to the warehouse to extract all the materials in the background of the trading market, Qin Tian immediately took the toiletries and went to the bathroom to wash up. And now the live broadcast is on. Tens of millions of people all flocked in. Ah, the broadcast has started. I want to see my Qin God fight in World of Warships. Today is the day Qin Shen officially opened the high-end game, and specially opened a bottle of Erguotu to celebrate. Envy those who can afford Erguotu. Hee, Yanlong people, don't be too happy. I am looking forward to the day when Qin Tian's warship is sunk by our Eurasian Federation. A group of people who were expecting, excited, or harboring malicious intentions all wanted to see how Qin Tian would behave in the real world of warships. After Qin Tian washed up, he came to the deck from the cabin. It was sunny outside and the sky was clear. The temperature of the weather is about 23 or 4 degrees. Take a deep breath. Qin Tian tore open a bag of bread. While eating, walked towards the thruster at the back. The main task he set for himself these 2 days was to salvage the material barrels. After driving out enough fuel, the power of the gunboat was officially activated. He can go all over the world to search and rescue some sailors and technicians to help work. Now in the control room, he could already clearly feel how busy he was. It is already a bit stretched to operate the radar and fire control by one person. Wait for the frigate to be upgraded before filling up the fuel. Missile system and power system are unlocked. During that battle, he would definitely be too busy alone. It will greatly reduce the combat effectiveness of the battleship. So he needs to search and rescue some NPC sailors and sailors to help him. Open the divine detective technique map in my mind. Qin Tian controls the thruster with one hand, and keeps sending the bread to his mouth with his hand. The warm sea breeze was blowing on his face. Lukewarm, just right. I have to say that the additional attribute of the title is really good. Xinhai Overlord additional 5 points of speed attribute to the title, making his gunboat significantly faster. No wonder it was the second year of the previous life. When those large forces in various countries competed for the two unique titles, they almost didn't get their brains out. This bonus is indeed a big deal. The gunboat braved the wind and waves, moving forward all the way. After sailing for about 10 minutes, Qin Tian finally saw a material barrel on the map. He immediately adjusted his direction slightly. Control the battleship to go to the location of the material barrel. Almost an hour later, Qin Tian came to the material barrel. After the material barrel was salvaged with a fishing net, he turned the thrusters in one direction. Let the ship continue sailing towards another material barrel that appears on the map. And he looked at the material barrel in front of him. I found a wooden barrel of ordinary materials. Do you want to open it? Open. Congratulations to the captain for getting 10 barrels of crude oil, 20 low-quality plastics and 10 low-quality wood. 10 barrels of crude oil. Not bad. Qin Tian nodded in satisfaction. Just put the 10 barrels of crude oil aside, waiting to continue to salvage the next material barrel. World of Warships. For convenience, all the chosen ones refer to a barrel of crude oil as a unit. Like his gunboat, generally, you can run for a day or two with about 100 units of crude oil. And the quantity of crude oil produced by material barrels also varies. If you are lucky, you can open 50 barrels at a time, and if you are unlucky, it is not uncommon for one barrel to be empty. That's it. Qin Tian steered his own gunboat to and fro for a whole morning. A total of 4 material barrels were salvaged, out of 57 barrels of crude oil. After lunch, I casually grilled a few slices of top-quality shark meat to fill my stomach. Qin Tian continued to work again. He, who was lazily manipulating the thrusters, stared. Suddenly turned in a different direction. Then the whole gunboat made a big turn as if drifting. For a moment, the entire hull tilted a little. But Qin Tian didn't care about it. His attention was only focused on the flat map, a golden treasure chest that just emerged from the edge. Beside the golden treasure chest, there is also a huge octopus monster. Treasure chest plus sea beast. You can't miss this combination anyway. However, it gradually expands with distance. The excitement on Qin Tian's face quickly cooled down. Because it is not far from the octopus monster and the treasure chest. An icon, apparently a gunboat, also emerged. It seems that this guy also found the golden treasure chest, but stopped there because of the octopus monster. I don't know whether it is waiting for reinforcements or the ability to act has been blocked by the octopus monster. And Qin Tian's sudden operation also made people who didn't understand his talent look confused. What's the situation? Why did you turn around all of a sudden? Did you see the treasure chest? Just following Qin Tian's continuous voyage. Some foreign devils who didn't even see a single thread immediately rolled their eyes and began to say that Qin Tian was crazy. Regarding this, those in the live broadcast room who had already guessed Qin Tian's additional ability sneered and didn't say much. After sailing for more than an hour, the golden treasure chest floating on the sea level appeared on the screen of the live broadcast room. And the huge octopus not far from the treasure chest. Instantly, those who had been beeping before were suddenly dumb. They all opened their mouths in astonishment. Oh my god, it's actually a golden treasure chest again. WTF, what's going on here? Why do I feel like this Yanlong man already knew that this treasure chest is here? It seems that I am not the only one who feels this way. I felt a little strange about the sudden sharp turn just now. It seems that I swiped it just for this treasure chest. However, how is this possible? According to the time he sailed, it must be at least 30 or 40 nautical miles away. How could his eyes see so far? As for Qin Tian, after seeing the golden treasure chest, at the same time, I also saw the large gunboat 5 or 6 nautical miles away. He saw each other. The other party naturally also saw him. The large gunboat immediately started its hull and sailed towards him in a detour. Qin Tian didn't pay attention to the other party. Just parked the ship. Then he looked at the huge octopus that was 5 or 6 meters high out of the sea. The investigation of divine detective technique was used. Giant king octopus. Health volume. 11,580 12 thousandths. 1. 21%. Chapter 105 Crude oil exploded. There are actually 12,000 blood. And look at the lack of more than 400 blood. Obviously, he had fought against that large gunboat before. It's just that he was escaped by the large gunboat for some reason. Qin Tian turned his eyes and looked at the large gunboat sailing towards him at full speed. Since there is no restriction on movement, well, obviously, the opponent is here guarding this golden treasure chest and waiting for reinforcements. HMPH, since I, Qin Tian, have taken a fancy to it, then there is no reason to give up this golden treasure chest. Qin Tian simply turned off the thrusters. Then he turned his head and went straight back to the control room. Not for a while. That silver-white large gunboat came to a place less than 4,000 meters away from Qin Tian. Qin Tian watched the other party's 3 naval guns move up and down coldly, and then aimed at him. Immediately afterwards, I heard the sound of expulsion from the loudspeaker of the opposing battleship. I am George of the Empire on which the sun never sets, an active second lieutenant of the Imperial Royal Fleet. I hereby solemnly warn you that I discovered this treasure chest first. The reinforcements I called will arrive soon. If you don't want to cause trouble, leave as soon as possible. Hear the words automatically translated by World of Warships. Qin Tian didn't say much. The radar system and fire control system were directly turned on. Aim with positioning. The 3 naval guns immediately turned their muzzles and pointed at the opponent's location. Damn it, you are provoking the authority of our empire on which the sun never sets, die. Boom boom boom. Seeing that Qin Tian even turned the naval guns around, George, who had been guarding against this all the time, wouldn't hesitate any longer. The attack was launched directly. The 3 naval guns roared at the same time. 2 of the 6 shells fell on the deck and burst into flames, and the other 4 all fell into the sea, splashing a huge column of water. Seeing that Qin Tian's gunboat was a circle bigger than his, George felt a little uneasy. Now I saw that the 2 shells only hit -21 and -16 HP. His heart sank directly to the bottom of the valley. Damn, why such a high defense? Who is this guy? George at K-Lin Ideographic, Ba Day. Hurry up, how long will it take to arrive? A large gunboat suddenly came here, and it seems to be very powerful. I may last for 10 minutes at most. He sent a message on the national channel. Ask the companions who came to support how long it will take to arrive. Colin at Zhong'en. No, it will take me more than 20 minutes anyway. Bald at George. I'll take about 30 minutes. Didn't you report the name of our royal fleet that never sets? George at Ba Day. Ed, but the other party didn't reply, and directly entered the state of combat readiness. Hurry up, I will try my best. After chatting, he closed the chat interface. Start to devote yourself to this battle with all your heart. It's just that Qin Tian's 3 naval guns began to roar. George's expression immediately became dull. I saw that 4 of the opponent's first round of 6 shells fell on his deck. 2 of them directly blasted 2 deep pits the size of millstones on the deck of his battleship. Seeing that the blood volume of the battleship he had just repaired dropped from 5,000 to 4,288 in an instant, George's eyeballs nearly popped out. Shit, how is this possible? How could this guy's naval gun have such high damage? And then just this curse word. His battleship's blood volume dropped to more than 3,600. Fuck, how to fight this? Not on a level at all. Looking at the damage I caused was like scraping. The damage dealt by the opponent is so explosive. George, who was standing on the bridge, suddenly panicked. He hurriedly ordered the soldiers he had searched and rescued to control the battleship to retreat. But nothing can be done. 3 naval guns can fire 6 shells almost every second. George's gunboat hadn't even completed an arc of a turn. Just because the blood volume of the battleship was lower than 10%, it was hit by a shell with a martyrdom effect. Then the whole ship set off fireworks directly. It was blown into 2 pieces by 7 or 8 groups of flames. And as the opponent's gunboat exploded, Qin Tian also saw a few small piles of supplies suddenly appearing on the deck of his own gunboat. Although not many, but look at the scale. Wood, plastic, and metal sheets can barely combine to produce 1 or 2,000 units of high-quality materials. Sink the opponent. It was as if Qin Tian had done an insignificant thing. Walk out of the control room and come to the stern again to start the thrusters. He drove the gunboat to a distance of 4 kilometers from the giant octopus king. Straight across the hull. Prepare to be tough. With his almost 600 or 700 damage per second. He didn't believe that he couldn't kill the opponent within the distance of 4 kilometers. Go back to the control room. He wasted no time. Directly start the radar system and the fire control system to aim and launch. Boom boom boom. -188, -68, -288. 6 shots and 5 shots hit. 6 shots and 4 shots hit. With the scarlet damage value on the head constantly popping up. Ask for flowers. Groups of exploding flames opened blue blood holes one after another on the huge body of giant octopus king. Soon, the entire sea area was soaked in a strange blue. 076, 076. The giant octopus king, who was hit hard, only reacted at this time. Waving the 8 thick legs densely covered with suction cups, he quickly swam towards Qin Tian. It is fast, but Qin Tian's cannon is even faster. But 10 seconds of effort just blasted off nearly 7,000 of his blood. At this time, the giant octopus king just swam forward for more than 1,000 meters. When the giant octopus king's blood volume is only more than 3,000 points left. It is still nearly 2,000 meters away from the Qin Tian gunboat. This made Qin Tian very helpless. The fire control system had to be temporarily shut down. It was not until the opponent was only 500 meters away from his gunboat that he started firing again. Only 2 rounds of volleys solved the opponent. Qin Tian immediately ran to the stern to control the thrusters. Control the battleship to quickly go to the slowly sinking giant octopus king corpse. This kind of sea beast carcass. If you can't appear beside them in time after death. Once it sinks into the sea, there will be no chance of collection. I found the corpse of the giant octopus king, should I respond? Just when giant octopus king still had a huge head left. Qin Tian managed to control the gunboat and arrived in time. Then I chose collect without hesitation. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 1,000 units of top-quality octopus meat. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 100 top-quality sea beast teeth. Good. It is heard that 100 top-quality sea beast teeth have been collected. Qin Tian nodded in satisfaction. Immediately, he controlled the gunboat to the side of the golden treasure chest. After a fishing net salvaged it, he turned the thrusters to turn the gunboat away. Then the gunboat broke through the blue blood that flowed here with the waves. He left here quickly with full power. Tapped the thrusters. Qin Tian immediately came to the treasure chest. Removed the fishing net on top. Then he grabbed the lid of the treasure chest and opened it. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 5,000 barrels of crude oil. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 10,000 units of fine wood. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 10,000 units of fine flax. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 10,000 units of fine metal sheets. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 10,000 units of excellent plastic in 21%. Chapter 106. I want 4,000 barrels. Now, at the place where Qin Tian killed George and giant octopus king. A small frigate came through the waves at an extremely fast speed. Colin stood on the bow deck. When a sailor reports to him that he has arrived at the coordinates. Looking at the already empty sea, he couldn't help but turn pale. And not long after, a larger frigate also sailed quickly. After hearing what Colin said, Balder, who was also standing at the bow of the ship, had an instant gloomy expression. Think about their empire since the sun never sets since they entered World of Warships. Perhaps it was because of the blessings given to them by the supreme glory that the Imperial Navy had had before. Make it easier to awaken high-level talents when making their chosen talents awaken. Up to now, they are already one of the superpowers second only to the Lighthouse Empire. But now, there are 010 people who dare to challenge the majesty of their everlasting Royal Navy. How can this not make them angry? Soon, Balder and Colin successively sent messages of condemnation in the World Chat channel. I hope the murderer doesn't make mistakes. Obediently return to the place just now to accept the trial. And return the golden treasure chest they got to the Royal Navy fleet on which the sun never sets. Otherwise the sun never sets on the fleet of the Royal Navy and they will surely avenge their dead brothers. Chase the murderer to Cape Tiania. It is not even guaranteed that the country of the beast will not be involved. There is a live broadcast. They couldn't believe that audacious guy dared to ignore them after knowing their manifesto. As soon as these pieces of information came out, in an instant, the entire world channel exploded. It has attracted a lot of discussions among the gods from all over the world. And Qin Tian, who was on the deck of the large gunship, knew nothing about all this. This moment, he looked at the crude oil barrels that appeared in an instant and covered the entire deck. The corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably. IFK. It actually exploded. He can know without thinking. Now his cabin below the deck must be full of crude oil barrels. Without the slightest hesitation, he directly opened the panel of the trading market. View current trading prices for crude oil. Because he was just a fishing boat when he left the novice sea area in his last life. These fuels are not needed. So naturally, I don't pay much attention to the prices of these crude oils. After flipping through several pages in the trading market, there was a bottom in Qin Tian's heart instantly. I have to say, 1 water and 1 crude oil. That's really more expensive than 1. The price of water is about the same as what he traded to Zhang Zongjun. Wood, linen, and plastic are all 100 units. Metal pieces and rags cost 50 units. Note: the bid price in Chapter 103 feels a bit low, so change it here, and follow this price in the future. Water in this price range will be sold out within 2 minutes of putting it on. And some in order to earn more supplies. The price will be 10 or 20 points higher. This kind of water sells more slowly. If you hang too many, you may be stuck for a week, and then you will be taken off the shelf by yourself. And compared to water, crude oil is more expensive. Although this thing can be opened to open material barrels. But I have to say it consumes a lot. Like a ship. Add 100 barrels of crude oil, save some time and run for 2 days. And to the frigate, it takes 500 to 1,000 barrels to fill up the tank. However, frigates and warships above the frigate level are due to the balance of the law. So although they need more crude oil, however, the time and nautical miles that can be sailed after filling up will also increase a lot accordingly. But even this, it has also kept crude oil prices high. Because many people are not enough to open material barrels themselves, let alone sell them to others. Most of the ones that are sold are newcomers who have just come in from the novice sea. Because the ships are still fishing boats, the crude oil is not used. Therefore, after the crude oil is sold, it will be sold for resources. Qin Tian looked carefully. The price of crude oil trading wood, plastic and flax is 160 units. The price of trading metal sheets and rags is 120 units. After Qin Tian thought for a while, he is not linked to the trading market. Instead, he directly opened Zhang Zongjun's profile picture. How troublesome it is to be linked to the trading market. Still have to wait to make a move. Packaged and sold directly to Yanlong Navy at the market price. How comfortable it is in one step. General Zhang, are you there? Are you interested in selling a batch of crude oil to you? Have. It didn't take 5 seconds. Zhang Zongjun came back with a message. How many barrels of crude oil do you have? Qin Tian looked at the deck full of crude oil. Go straight back to the message channel. 4,000 barrels. Tianshu Island. Zhang Zongjun couldn't help being stunned when he saw the number. This kid can do it. It took only half a day to get so much crude oil. Is this a treasure chest? DB, etc. He suddenly thought of the information reported to him by the soldier who was responsible for collecting world intelligence just now. Not long ago, a golden treasure chest of the empire on which the sun never sets was intercepted, and a second lieutenant of the navy died. Could it be this kid who did it? Qin Tian, tell me honestly, did you get these crude oils from the golden treasure chest of the second lieutenant who never sets the sun? Zhang Zongjun asked curiously. What? Have they announced the news yet? Qin Tian was not surprised by this at all. That George called for reinforcements. When the reinforcements went, they saw that the scene was empty. You will naturally understand what happened. And coupled with the existence of time and space live broadcast, they naturally have the confidence to say so. After Qin Tian finished asking, open the world chat channel to check. As a result, I saw those warning messages that were still swiping the screen from time to time. Qin Tian didn't even bother to ignore them. He never joined any forces. Second, he did not disclose his coordinates. I want to avenge my companions in World of Warships. Then we have to find him first. And hearing that Qin Tian didn't have the slightest intention to hide, Zhang Zongjun also smiled involuntarily. This little guy can have guts, have courage. A second lieutenant of the Royal Fleet on which the sun never sets actually said that it was going to be gone. That guy Lang Lai will definitely like it if he knows what he wants. Ha ha ha, you 3.7 boy is not bad. I want all 4,000 barrels. Tell me, what resources do you plan to exchange for? Zhang Zongjun replied with a smile. General Zhang knew about it and bought these crude oil from me. Aren't you afraid that the sun never sets and those guys will provoke you? Qin Tian asked jokingly. Oh, provocative. Let them come. If they really dare to plunder the islands of our Yanlong Empire, do you think I will learn from that guy Lang Lai who often lives near the islands of their Yubuluo Empire? Zhang Zongjun replied domineeringly. Qin Tian couldn't help laughing when he saw this. Cold. The irascible admiral was indeed in style. Now it is definitely the number one worry of the Lighthouse Empire. Ever since Tianji Island was lost. Behind the islands where the lighthouses are located. Almost 30 or so medium and high-level battleships with frigates up and battleships down were sunk. It can be said that the loss of the lighthouse is not small. 21%. Chapter 107 Upgrade the frigate. Faced with Zhang Zongjun's heroic aura, Qin Tian couldn't help admiring these Yanlong Empire generals who entered the world of warships. It is the Yanlong Navy organized by them. Those foreign devils from the Eurasian Federation did not dare to recklessly slaughter the chosen ones of the Yanlong Empire. Okay, General Zhang is mighty. Then give me 1,000 barrels of wood, 1,000 barrels of plastic, and 2,000 barrels of sheet metal. Qin Tian directly reported his needs. Okay, if you feel like you can't stand it anymore, come to our Yanlong Navy. Forgive those guys from the Royal Fleet that never sets and don't dare to come over and fight as hard. Okay, no problem. I'll join the Yanlong Navy of our empire when I've had enough time. General Zhang, don't take me in when the time comes. Haha, don't worry about your brat. As long as they dare to mess with you, just kill them and make a name for yourself. When you come, I will directly promote you to general. Okay, the resources are assembled. Let's start trading. It took a few words to talk. Zhang Zongjun initiated a transaction application. Qin Tian accepted decisively. Then with a thought, he put all the 4,000 barrels of crude oil on board. And over there began to put resources up one by one. Inferior wood, 170,000. Inferior plastic, 170,000. Inferior metal sheet, 130,000. See this price. 11. Qin Tian said in astonishment. General Zhang, your amount is wrong. It seems to be 10,000 more. Zhang Zongjun sent him a message. Not much. Your current situation is special, and you will definitely have to fight at the airport in the future. The tens of thousands of extra resources should be regarded as my investment in you with that guy Lang Lai. With your temper, that guy Lang Lai got it. I'm afraid I'll give you more. See this message from the other party. Qin Tian couldn't help feeling warm in his heart. You have to be in the army of your own country. It's a pity that it's the third year of my last life. Apart from Nangongla, the Yanlong Empire didn't grow any amazing and powerful god chosen. As a result, the remaining 4 Beidou islands were taken by the royal fleet on which the sun never sets. This caused the Yanlong Empire's power in World of Warships to decline a lot. In this life, no matter what I do, I can't let this navy fall to the predicament again. Think here. He didn't refuse either. Accepted cleanly. Okay, then I'll accept it. When I get stronger, I'll join General Lang and see if we can work together to destroy a battleship in the lighthouse. Haha, that's a good idea. If you really want to sink a battleship of the foreign devils, I will personally make the decision and reward each of you with 100,000 resources. Hee, General Zhang, you must remember your promise. I will tell General Lang when the time comes. Haha, I'm waiting for that day. After both parties choose to confirm the transaction, Qin Tian looked at the 6-figure supplies on the background of the trading market. Immediately stepped down from the cabin. Came to the warehouse curry. He didn't dare to take out so many supplies at once. You can only take out the wood first. Watching it fill up in an instant, all spilling over to the timber in the aisle. He hastily started to synthesize with pain and joy. After the wood is almost combined, he extracted the plastic again. After shrinking the synthetic plastic by more than half, he extracted the metal piece again. At this time, the setting sun outside had disappeared. Night fell. Qin Tian turned on the light. Just sitting in the aisle and continuing the synthesis with perseverance. Finally, after clearing out the inferior metal sheets in the aisle, he took a long breath and stood up. I can't help but feel a little jealous. The will of this planet is also really interesting. Now that you have made a synthesis setting, then why not get more one-click synthesis? Is it not good for you and me to do his business? Feeling a pang of hunger, Qin Tian walked towards the lounge. With a thought, he opened the data backpack. Composite to the end, he himself didn't know how many high-quality materials he had synthesized. Is it enough to upgrade the gunship into a frigate? While thinking, he cast his gaze on the data backpack interface. Bread, 28. Extreme shark meat, 115. Flying fish meat, 190. Superb octopus meat, 1,000 units. Oranges, 35. Low-quality wood, 50,221. Common wood, 339. Fine wood, 41,642. Inferior linen, 7,253. Common linen, 12. Fine linen, 1,708. Potatoes, 10. Stone, 1,008 pieces. Inferior metal sheet, 10,432. Ordinary metal sheet, 1,234. Excellent metal sheet, 41,570. Common nails, 31. Good nails, 0. Poor quality plastic, 51,987. Common plastic, 17. Excellent plastic, 32,307. Rags, 3,380 pieces. 60 great white shark teeth. The best white shark king teeth 50 pieces. 100 premium sea animal teeth. Look at the details of the supplies in the data backpack. Qin Tian took another look at the materials needed to upgrade the frigate. Fine wood 6,000, fine plastic 7,000, fine nails 5,000, fine metal sheet 5,000. There is nothing to worry about. The material is completely sufficient. Qin Tian took out a bag of bread from the refrigerator. While tearing open and eating. While using divine detective technique to open the battleship panel. After finding the advanced option below, I directly chose to advance. May I ask if the captain consumes 6,000 high-quality wood, 7,000 high-quality plastic, 500D high-quality nails, 5,000 high-quality treasury pieces to advance the large gunship? Yes. Qin Tian swallowed the bread in his mouth and opened his mouth. With the reduction of warehouse curry materials, the whole gunboat suddenly began to be shrouded in golden light 170. In the studio, all the people who saw this scene were really happy, angry, sad and happy, and they were all different. Wow, haha, Qin Shenyupi just entered the world of warships from the novice sea area, and successfully promoted the gunboat to a frigate on the first day. I asked who else. I remember that during the pirate activities, I deliberately estimated the strength of Qin Shen's warships. At that time, the strength of large gunboats was almost comparable to that of ordinary large destroyers. Now that Qin Shen has upgraded frigates, I feel that cruisers and battles are not enough. Those foreign devils don't even think about hurting God Qin. 666. Who will fight for the front when I, God Qin, come out of World of Warships? Gentile devils, tremble, ha 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 ha. Idiot, shet. Fox squid. In the studio, the people of Yanlong Empire were so excited that they went crazy. And those foreign devils in the Eurasian Federation turned blue with anger. Especially some citizens of the empire on which the sun never sets. Can't help but tear up with the people of Yanlong Empire. Then why did Qin Tian level up so quickly? Isn't it because they robbed the golden treasure chest that George first discovered? For this rhetoric, citizen Yanlong also has plausible arguments. The treasures of things and treasures are home to the virtuous. The 3 islands of Beidou were first discovered and occupied by the Yanlong Navy, so the Eurasian Federation didn't say anything about returning them. For a while, you talked to me in the live broadcast room. The quarrel between the two sides is irresistible. 21%. Chapter 108 Upgrade again, medium frigate. And in World of Warships. Qin Tian finished eating a piece of bread. Finished another bottle of water. Picked 2 cucumbers and walked onto the deck. Breathe while eating. After a while, the golden light gradually dissipated. Then a frigate appeared in front of his eyes, although its appearance was brand new, but its configuration seemed a little outdated. I am used to seeing the advanced and modern environment and style of large gunboats. A quick look at this is obviously a frigate built in the 1960s. Qin Tian felt backward no matter how he looked at it. Although the hull is more than twice as large. The small frigate that I upgraded to in my previous life is completely incomparable with the current small frigate. But there is no way. Who let himself upgrade the frigate to medium before dying? To know. To the frigate level. Every time a battleship is upgraded by one level, its combat power will increase exponentially. To the large frigate. He can even unlock the ship's helicopter. As long as you have a good enough pilot. Then in the mid-game battlefield, he can even have a certain amount of air supremacy. After a glance, there are still 20,000 to 30,000 high-quality materials. Qin Tian directly opened the panel of the frigate. Wanted to see if I could get it up to medium. Name. Small frigate. Displacement. 1245 tons. ER 91.5 times 10.4 times 3.2. Health volume. 12,000. Ix. 991. Defense. 210. Strengthened fire control system. Power system. ZH 2500 gas turbine times 4. Speed. 28 plus 5 knots. Weapon system. Single 100 mm naval gun green times 3. Dual 37 mm naval gun green times 2. Dual 57 mm naval gun orange times 1. Dual 14.5 mm machine gun times 4. Dual upstream 001 anti-ship missile launcher X1 not unlocked. Triple 533 mm torpedo unit X1. Missile device with fire control radar can be unlocked. Enhance the radar system. Enhanced torpedo system. Ordinary advancement. Low quality wood 9,000, low quality plastic 8,000, low quality nails 6,000, low quality metal sheet 6,000, can be advanced to a medium-sized frigate normal 1. Quality advanced. 8,000 ordinary wood, 7,000 ordinary plastic, 5,000 ordinary nails, 5,000 ordinary metal sheet, can be advanced into a medium-sized frigate excellent DII. Advanced advancement. 10,000 high-quality wood, 9,000 high-quality plastic, 7,000 high-quality nails, 7,000 high-quality metal sheets, can be advanced into a medium-sized frigate extreme advanced level available. Can it be advanced? Qin Tian saw advanced after seeing advanced. No one chose advanced without any hesitation. May I ask if the captain consumes 10,000 high-quality wood, 9,000 high-quality plastic, 7,000 high-quality nails, and 7,000 high-quality metal sheets to advance the small frigate? Yes. Qin Tian nodded. Then the frigate under his feet was once again shrouded in dazzling golden light. In the studio, all the Gentiles who saw this scene were numb. And the people of Yanlong Empire are more excited than each other. Here we go again. Advanced scene. Upgrade 2 levels a day. Although in World of Warships, there are also many God-chosen who can upgrade 2 or even 3 or 4 levels a day after getting rich overnight. But don't know why. Every time, watching Qin Tian's warships continuously upgrade like this is the most touching. I don't know how long it has passed. With the golden light dispersed, Qin Tian stood on the deck and looked at the white frigate that had grown bigger and stronger, with huge gun barrels everywhere. Only then did his nurtured aesthetic mind feel comfortable and no longer uncomfortable. Open the attribute panel of your brand new medium-sized frigate. Qin Tian's eyes also burst into a light of joy and satisfaction. Name. Medium frigate. Displacement. 2,180 tons. ER 112 times 12.4 times 4.3. Health volume. 13,000. Ix. 769. Defense. 210. Strengthened fire control system. Power system. ZH 2500 gas turbine times 4. Speed. 28 plus 5 knots. Weapon system. Type 79 dual 100 mm naval gun green times 1, Type 76 dual 37 mm automatic naval gun green times 4 unavailable, dual 57 mm naval gun orange times 1, 6 unit Yanlong 61 ship-to-air missile launcher X1 unlocked, triple Yanlong 08 anti-ship missile launcher X2 unlocked, triple rotary torpedo launcher blue X. Missile device unlockable with fire control radar. Enhance the radar system. Enhanced torpedo system. Ordinary advancement. Low quality wood 12,000, low quality plastic 10,000, low quality nails 8,000, low quality metal sheet 8,000, can be advanced to a large frigate normal. High quality goods advanced. Ordinary wood 10,000, ordinary plastic 9,000, ordinary nails 7,000, ordinary metal sheet 7,000, can be advanced into a large frigate excellent. Advanced. 14,000 high-quality wood, 12,000 high-quality plastic, 9,000 high-quality nails, 9,000 high-quality metal sheets, can be advanced to grow frigates extreme. Look at the properties panel. Look at the whole body clean and white again. Surrounded by the hulls of all kinds of big killers. Qin Tian touched the slender barrel of the Type 79 dual 100mm naval gun. I couldn't help but complain with excitement. Yeah. This horse is called a medium-sized frigate. What was the name of the medium-sized frigate in my last life? It is estimated that it is a little stronger than the small frigate that was advanced just now. The present self. In just 1 month, he has achieved far more than the 3 years of his previous life. Next, it's time to start the legend yourself. He clenched his fist hard. Qin Tian turned around and came to the gas turbine cabin below the deck. Add all the more than 1,000 barrels of crude oil left on the battleship. Roughly estimated based on his medium-sized frigate in the previous life. It shouldn't be a problem for more than 1,000 barrels of crude oil to run for more than a week. And I still have that thruster that can play a somewhat auxiliary role. The next day is to search for the sailors and those king-level sea beasts. From Zhao's the reason why his current frigate's attack power is so stretched. It is entirely because fire control radar and missile system have not been unlocked. If unlocked, the attack power may directly rise to the terrifying 2,000 plus. It's also fortunate that other gods chosen don't know about his thoughts. If he knew, he might have to collectively greet him with a friendly international gesture. Ordinary medium-sized frigates have an attack power of 700 or 800 at most. When it came to him, it was said that he was stretching his hips. It's kind of humiliating. And after setting the next mission goals for yourself, Qin Tian returned to the lounge. Upgrade to a medium frigate. His lounge has also expanded quite a bit. The only difference is that there are no portholes. But there are more electronic devices such as electronic clocks. Looking at the watch, it has passed the live broadcast time of 10 p.m. He was about to take a shower and sleep. Suddenly, a prompt for a private chat sounded in his mind. 22%. Chapter 109 Gas Turbine Power System. Hear the private message notification tone. Qin Tian opened it and took a look. The discovery was sent by Li Yangming. I'm lost, boss, you are too awesome. Our Yanlong Navy actually plans to smash the Royal Navy fleet, where the sun never sets, because of you, it's really too domineering. Then he just read Li Yangming's information. The sound of diddy sounded again. Vanessa's message came again. Qin Shen, are you okay? You are too courageous. You dared to snatch food from the tigers of the royal fleet on which the sun never sets on the first day you just left the Novice Sea area. Look at the messages sent by the two. After Qin Tian casually responded with a few sentences. With a thought, the world chat channel was opened. I saw a man named Cyril up there confronting Zhang Zongjun tit for tat. Cyril at Zhang Zhongjun. Zhang, you really want to be so stubborn? In order to protect a newcomer who just came out of the Novice Sea, you don't hesitate to tear your face with me. Zhang Zongjun at Shi Li. Hey, what I said is like when our Yanlong Navy got along with you guys. It's already clear. It's your second lieutenant, Wu Mojing, who obviously couldn't beat me and still wanted to stop her. Let others fight. I just want to ask, when did World of Warships come out with such a rule? Brooks at Zhang Zhongjun. Hey, this rule is specially formulated for your Yanlong Empire. Whether you recognize it or not, it is impossible for our Eurasian Federation to rob your Yanlong people. But you Yanlong people must not rob our Eurasian Federation. Zhang Zongjun at AKC. Shit, Brooks, don't think that upgrading your battleship to a battleship will be awesome. If you can't, let's touch it. Nydia at Zhang Zhongjun. Now we are talking about Qin Tian of your Yanlong Empire. If you don't want him to die, you can just ask him to hand over his water purifier, those fruit trees, and the special artifact that cannot time. Lang Huo at Nydia. Hey, to put it bluntly, it's not because they have taken a fancy to other people's good things. They are obviously a group of robbers, but they insist on wearing a gentleman's coat. A group of hypocritical guys. Let me tell you, things that cost a dime nothing. Beep beep again. Believe it or not, I left the lighthouse and went directly to your sunbasit place to wander around. The deterrent power of this sentence is more effective than anything else. In an instant, the world channel fell into dead silence. Qin Tian can imagine it completely. How embarrassing are the three admirals who never said at this moment. Speak harshly, just in case coldness is provoked. Then they have no place to cry. But if you don't say something. It also seemed that these noble admirals who never sat in the sun were too cowardly. They probably didn't expect that Leng Lai would jump out and get a kick out of it. Don't bother to care about these anymore. Qin Tian immediately turned off the chat channel and went to take a shower and go to bed. To put it bluntly, his own strength is not enough. Only then will those guys who never set the sun be targeted as soft persimmons. If he now has the strength to challenge battleships with 3 cannons. You just have to see if these foreign devils dare to make rampant clamor and it's over. Nothing to say all night. The next day, early in the morning, when Qin Tian got up, he made plastic bottles and began to collect water. After receiving 430 bottles, he just put it there and didn't care about it. He took the toothbrush cup into the bathroom and began to wash. After washing, dress neatly, he took another 5 pieces of octopus from the refrigerator to cook on the grill in the kitchen. Eat and drink enough. Just when he was about to go up and start today's work, Zhang Zongjun sent him a message. Qin Tian, is your water ready yet? Qin Tian smiled when he saw it. I'm ready. Isn't this because I'm afraid that you are still asleep, General Zhang? That's why I didn't dare to disturb you. Hey, you kid, how can I sleep so much when I'm old? I wake up before dawn every day. Tell me, what do you want to change this time? Change the metal pieces. Change all the metal pieces. No problem. Give him back. Zhang Zongjun over there immediately sent a transaction application. Qin Tian accepted. Put 430 bottles of water directly on it. BBBC. Then there are also 21,500 units of low-quality metal pieces put on there at the same time. Quickly complete the transaction. Qin Tian said one last sentence. General, thank you for helping me yesterday. Haha, it's all trivial. If you have any good things that you can sell in your hands, sell them to us. If we can help, we will naturally help you. See the message sent by the other party. Qin Tian replied, okay, I'm fine, I still have some fruit, but it's been a long time. I plan to throw the resources in the hands of a wave of foreign devils after the auction house in the trading market cools down in the past 2 days, and wait for 2 weeks to get fresh. When the fruit is produced, I will wholesale it to our navy. As these 10 days passed, recently, apples, oranges and cucumbers planted in time bonsai pots have obviously shown a trend of water loss. It doesn't look much different from the outside though. It doesn't affect the vitamins in it either. It just doesn't taste as crisp and refreshing as before. So Qin Tian is not worried about anything. For the past 2 days, he has been waiting for the time for the auction house to cool down. Just as soon as it cools, he will immediately throw the remaining 300 or 400 melons and fruits into the auction house for auction. Okay, you boy, do your best. We are all very optimistic about you. By the way, with so many resources yesterday, your gunboat should be upgraded to a destroyer soon, right? That is to say, the military department has the rules of the military department. As officers, we cannot use the supplies that the soldiers have accumulated so hard, otherwise we will directly allocate more than 100,000 resources to you, so that you can be promoted to a destroyer at once, then the fighting power is great. See Zhang Zongjun's words. The corner of Qin Tian's mouth couldn't help a wry smile. Want to upgrade to a destroyer with more than 100,000 resources? I have to say that the other party's thinking is a bit too simple. Maybe the normal and advanced level is indeed almost the same. But each of his advancements is much more expensive than ordinary advances. Especially the battleship upgrade behind the frigate. Every time a large realm is crossed, it is an improvement of massive resources. Qin Tian estimated that his frigate would be upgraded to a destroyer. Hundreds of thousands of resources can't be taken down at all. After chatting for a few more words, the two ended the call. Qin Tian went up to the deck, came to the control room, intending to try the power system of this frigate. As he pressed the start button of the central control power system, the compressor starts to compress the air. After the compressed air enters the combustion chamber, it produces high-temperature natural gas with the injected fuel, thus entering the gas turbine and starting to exert force. Pushing the turbine wheel rotates with the compressor wheel. Even in the control room, Qin Tian could even hear the sharp noise of the impeller rotating rapidly under the impetus of gas. But I have to say that the startup speed of the gas turbine is indeed fast. Not long, the startup process of the powertrain is complete. As Qin Tian pushed the joystick, control the rudder, the entire frigate began to sail at a gradually increasing speed. 22%. Chapter 110. Open the auction hall again, and put fruits on the shelves. Qin Tian opened the plain map of divine detective technique. You can clearly see that your frigate is sailing at an extremely fast speed. His medium-sized frigate can run at a speed of 33 knots at full speed after being blessed with the attribute of the title. It is equivalent to running 61 kilometers per hour. This is much stronger than the thruster of his 11-knot classic car before. after sailing aimlessly for a daytime. In addition to salvaging more than 20 material barrels. Let alone king-level sea beasts. Not even a single shipwrecked sailor was seen. Not reconciled, Qin Tian searched for another day with all his strength. The result is still nothing. Instead, they encountered 3 warships of foreign devils. Several shots were fired at him from a distance. Qin Tian, who was in a hurry to search for the sailors, was too lazy to talk to them. In addition, fire control radar and missile system cannot be used. So there was no stopping the hull to argue with them. Originally, he wanted to kill a king-level sea beast in a short time. Then gather enough 200 top-quality sea beast teeth to build the Genesis-class dual 57mm naval gun first. But look at the situation now. Forget it anyway. First consume these teeth to unlock fire control radar and missile system. Evening. Qin Tian reduced the speed to 18 knots. Just leave it alone. He walked to the kitchen under the cabin. I took a few slices of the best octopus with legs and grilled them on the grill first. Then put it in the pot and add some water to it. A pot of octopus nutrition soup was boiled directly. Have to say, stoves and grills are a perfect match. Anything can taste great. Get it done after dinner. Qin Tian immediately came to the control room of the shipbuilding. Pick up the advanced fire control radar drawing from the center console and go to a platform behind the shipbuilding. He looked at the advanced on the blueprint and chose to make it with a thought. With the disappearance of materials and drawings. Soon, an exquisite and beautiful fire control radar appeared on the platform. Qin Tian opened the frigate's attribute panel and took a look. Sure enough, there was the words Fire Control Radar Orange on it. And the 476 Type Dual 37mm automatic naval guns also lost the following 3 words: not available. Solve the problem of fire control radar. He then moved his gaze to the missile device line. Directly choose to unlock. Unlocking the missile device requires 2000 low-quality metal, 2000 low-quality nails, and 2000 low-quality plastic. Will the captain unlock it? Unlock. Facing the routine inquiry of the will of the planet. Qin Tian nodded and chose to confirm. Immediately afterwards, he unlocked the 6-unit Yanlong 61 ship-to-air missile launcher and the triple Yanlong 08 anti-ship missile launcher. And a wave of enhancements has been made to consume materials. And as he unlocked all the hot weapons on the battleship, the attack value of his frigate attribute panel also directly jumped to 2,618 points. What is the concept of 2,618 points of damage? Normal advancement, after a large destroyer with a full load displacement of more than 10,000 tons has unlocked all weapon systems. It is estimated that there is such a high damage. This shows how abnormally strong the damage of this frigate is. If at this time, let him meet another enemy who is similar to George, the empire on which the sun never sets. All it takes is a few rounds of missiles fired over long distances. Then a round of volleys from close range can almost finish the enemy. Cool. After touching the launcher of the Yanlong 61 ship-to-air missile that was erected obliquely, Qin Tian stepped back into the control room. He sat on the recliner and opened the World Chat channel. After discovering that it is much more active than during the day. With a thought, he opened the trading market. After finding the auction house, I spent materials to rent the 001 auction room. Yes, arrived today. His month-long auction cooling-off period is finally over. Leave 15 oranges, 37 apples, and 8 cucumbers to eat. The remaining 20 oranges, 150 apples, and 150 cucumbers are all on the shelves. After finishing these, he left a message on the World channel. Qin Tian at everyone. I suddenly found that the fruits I planted seemed to be too much to eat. All of them are high-quality fruits. They have been placed in the auction room No. 001. The auction will start in 10 minutes. If you are interested, you can go and have a look. Because 2 days ago, the Yanlong Empire fought to the death with Sun Buluo for him. In addition, he was the first person to obtain the title, which allowed World of Warships to unlock the title function. So he is now considered a famous celebrity in World of Warships. Now this sentence goes out. Immediately caused quite a stir. What? Auctioning fruits? Are you Yanlong people? Are you still doing auctions just for those few fruits? Shiba, a newcomer is a newcomer, no matter how awesome he is, he doesn't understand anything. What are your 10 or 20 fruits that are worth auctioning? Just mark 300 or 400 resources and hang them in the trading market. Someone will snatch them up in minutes. Ask for flowers. Li Yangming at Zhangjiang Min. I'll go, stick, don't talk nonsense if you don't understand. How can my boss be that kind of superficial person? In the novice C, I, God Chin, sell fruit for 200 bar. Shalu at Chin Tien, what? 2 or 300 fruits. I want to ask what quality fruit is it? Li Yangming at Shalu. You don't have to trouble my boss. I can tell you that the varieties of melons and fruits my boss owns are oranges, apples and cucumbers are all good varieties. Oh, by karma, 2 or 300 fruits of good quality. Is this true? High quality fruits are much more nutritious than whiteboard, ordinary and high grade fruits. The vitamin supplement is very comprehensive. Joanna at Chin Tien. Hello Yanlong people, please help me with some oranges. I seem to have scurvy, mouth ulcers, bleeding gums, and even broke my arm when salvaging supplies the day before yesterday. Please help save me. Yigu Jime at Chin Tien. I also have this symptom. It has been 3 days, and now I can't salvage the wooden barrels. Chin Jun, please help me with some fruits. When I am good, you can let me go to you. I am willing to dedicate everything to you. Ignore those miserable people in the chat channel. Chin Tien immediately closed the chat channel. There is Li Yangming in the middle to set off the atmosphere. The fruit auction soon became lively. Chin Tien nodded in satisfaction. Send a good job post to Li Yangming. So he traded 2 apples to the other party. It's all rewarded. Sometimes I want to squeeze a person's labor force to the maximum extent. Occasional small rewards are often the most effective. Haha, thank you, God. Li Yangming will return the message soon. Immediately afterwards, he worked harder to promote it in the chat channel. Wait until after 10 minutes. Chin Tien opened the trading panel and entered the auction room to have a look. I saw that the number of people inside was skyrocketing at an astonishing number. Soon over 1 million people came. This made Chin Tien's eyes light up immediately. It seems that I can reap a good harvest this time. So many people. As long as there are 3,000 or 4,000 people willing to bid. Then he can make a lot of money. And in the auction hall. Seeing that all the heads in the list are full. Brightly colored fruits. Many gods chosen are also a little excited to do it. 22%. Chapter 111 Phyllis Lauder, who was tricked. 20 oranges, 150 apples and 150 cucumbers. These are good things that can save lives at critical moments. Even if you don't need to eat. If the price is right, resell it to those who are dying of scurvy. You can also earn a lot of resources from it. After all, compared with Xiaoming, those resources are shit. Anyway, almost all will not lose money. And at this time, the 3-minute countdown to auction preparation ends. The starting price of 320 units of fruit is also displayed. 300 units of bad wood. Low quality plastic 300 units. 240 units of poor quality sheet metal. Each price increase shall not be less than 10 units. Chin Tien intends to upgrade the frigate to a large size as soon as possible. So we must first accumulate these 3 materials. It's okay, this Yanlong person is a man of knowledge, and there is no lion's big opening bid of 427 inches. Brothers, I'm going to buy a few apples, please be merciful. Little big brothers, I'm going to take a few cucumbers for emergency, please don't grab mine. Beauty upstairs, what's the use of cucumbers, why don't you add me as a friend? Seeing this as a reasonable starting price. Quite a few people were gearing up for something immediately. But at this moment, in the chat channel of the auction house, an unexpected name suddenly appeared. Phyllis Lauder, the commander-in-chief of the Lot fleet. Phyllis Lauder. I want 150 apples from the Lauder family, I think you guys know how to do it. Only one person, one sentence. Countless people from the Eurasian Federation moved their ideas away from Apple. For this super rich family who ranks in the top 5 on the superpower rankings and often doesn't take the lighthouse military fleet to heart. Many people in the Eurasian Federation are genuinely a little afraid of them. Because compared with the military's somewhat bottom-line approach, the Lot family, which is based on their own interests, is really unscrupulous. Provoke them. Once caught, the end is often miserable. And in the auction house, Chin Tien frowned when he saw this scene. This Lauder family is really disgusting. Is this specifically jumping out to retaliate? For a while, Chin Tien also patted his forehead, a bit annoyed secretly. At this moment, his eyes were fixed on the chat channel in the auction house. I hope that a super powerful force that is not afraid of power will come to hold down the Lauder family. But what Chin Tien didn't expect was that his wish really came true. Just when everyone thought that the Lot family would take the 150 units of apples at a low price this time. But Zhang Zongjun's profile picture popped up in the chat channel. Zhang Zongjun at Fei Li Si Luote. Hey, how many dishes did you eat and drink like this? Phyllis, are you leaders of the powerhouses of the Lighthouse Empire a little out of order? How can you do it anywhere? Running out to take advantage. Zhang Zongjun at Fei Li Si. Come on, if you have the ability today, you can take pictures of these 150 apples for me. I will have 10 more apples than you. Let's see who consumes more energy. Watching Zhang Zongjun come out to help him out again. Qin Tian couldn't help feeling warm in his heart. And Phyllis of the Lot family over there obviously didn't expect that Yanlong Haijin would jump out and sing against him. It seems that the information is indeed true. This Qin Tian was favored by the Yanlong Navy. This is to be trained as the successor. No wonder the navy of the empire on which the sun never sets that day put on a posture of protecting Qin Tian at all costs. It turned out that I had this thought. But even though I know it's a bit unreasonable to fight head-on with Yanlong Navy. But Phyllis, who shoulders the glory of the Lauder family fleet, also has his own persistence and glory. He was by no means the type to flee without a fight. So, when the countdown to auctions of 3, 2, and 1 ends, he immediately quoted a wood price of 45,000 to cover the apples. It's just not waiting for 2 seconds. Yanlong Navy quoted a price of 46,500 and placed it on his head. Fuck. Phyllis cursed inwardly. Then 1,500 units were added. Increased the price of timber to 48,000 units. But Zhang Zongjun quickly added him. For a while, a group of God chosen from the Eurasian Federation frantically bid for cucumbers and oranges. At the same time, he watched with great interest the two behemoths, the Lot family and the Yanlong Navy, who were facing each other. 49,500. 81,000. 99,500. Damn it, I'll give 101,000. Zhang Zongjun, if you have the ability, you can add more to me. On a huge battleship, with a hooked nose and an extremely handsome appearance, Phyllis made seemingly vicious remarks in the chat channel of the auction house. But in fact, at this moment, he had a sly sneer brewing in his eyes and face. Growing up in a large family in such turbulent times. He is over 30 years old, and he has seen countless people, and he is used to many intrigues. It can be seen that Zhang Zongjun has been fighting with him so many times and still dares to increase the price without hesitation. He knew that the price was far from the other party's acceptable bottom line. However, more than 100,000 supplies far exceed the maximum value of these 150 apples. So Phyllis decided to stop. He has made up his mind. For a while, as long as the other party dares to increase the price. He stopped immediately. Asking Yanlong Navy to pay Qin Tian is obviously a premium and a lot of supplies. At that time, if it can cause conflicts between Qin Tian and Yanlong Navy. It is not in vain that he wasted so much time and hard work here with the other party. While Phyllis was eagerly waiting for Zhang Zongjun's quotation. But I didn't expect the offer to come. What was waiting was Zhang Zongjun's thanks. Zhang Zongjun at Felice. Thank you very much Mr. Felice for supporting our newcomers of Yanlong Empire. Zhang Zongjun. Since you are so persistent, then our Yanlong Navy will not compete with you. You can take the 150 apples. Finished. There was no movement at all from Zhang Zongjun's side. Phyllis was dumbfounded after seeing these two sentences. Gone. This old fox was actually put on by him. Phyllis became more and more angry. He slammed the battleship's hull with his fist. That's more than 100,000 timber materials. Far beyond the maximum value of those 150 units of apples. Why didn't I stop one step ahead of time? Why don't you hesitate again? Phyllis felt like his intestines were about to turn green. After waiting for 10 minutes, the auction ended in 3.7 hours. 20 oranges, 150 apples and 150 cucumbers were all robbed. Qin Tian took a look. The corners of the mouth could not help but tilt up slightly. Really, ginger is still old and spicy. Among them, 150 units of apples brought him 1,025,000 inferior wood materials. 20 oranges were traded for 6,000 units of inferior plastic. 150 cucumbers, 68 of them were replaced with 16,320 inferior metal sheets. 31 sold 3,300 of the poor quality plastic. The remaining 31 were sold for 15,300 of inferior wood. This shows how miserable Phyllis was cheated this time. The 150 cucumbers and 20 oranges on the side only sold close to 41,000 units of supplies. And Phyllis was fighting wits with Zhang Zongjun. However, the latter directly cheated out 50,000 to 60,000 more timber resources. 2. 22%. Chapter 112 Sweetheart, let the uncle love you well. And most of all, the beneficiary is still Qin Tian himself. This is very YYDS. Since everything has been sold, Qin Tian no longer paid attention to the chat content in the auction house channel. He came to the orange tree, the apple tree, and the cucumber vine. Reach out and pick off all the few remaining fruits. Then the plants in the 3 pots instantly turned back into the initial sapling state. Then just water it well every day. There will be a good harvest again in about 2 weeks. So, then came the exciting Battleship upgrade link. Use Detective Technicato open the Battleship panel. Find the Advanced in it and directly select Advanced. May I ask if the captain consumes 14,000 high-quality wood, 12,000 high-quality plastic, 9,000 high-quality nails, and 9,000 high-quality metal sheets to advance the medium-sized frigate? Yes, Qin Tian nodded in confirmation blankly. Upgraded too fast recently, he himself felt numb. Seeing that the entire battleship was shrouded in golden light again, Qin Tian couldn't help feeling unreal like a dream. In his last life, he could only upgrade once a few months after he upgraded to a fishing boat. The frigate is only upgraded once every 6 months or even a year. But now, he has only been in World of Warships for a little over a month. The Raft has been upgraded to a large frigate. To be honest, even he himself felt incredible. I didn't expect that my ability to earn money in this life would be so strong. It is completely comparable to a medium-sized big power. And the materials collected by those medium-sized forces have to be distributed according to a certain contribution ratio every day according to the number of people. And leave some supplies for emergency. And himself. You can harvest as much as you can. All resources are his own. Use whatever you want. This is the benefit of the Lone Ranger. Certainly. And it's not all about benefits. In World of Warships, the Lone Ranger is indeed the most likely to be needed as a soft persimmon by some grouped gods chosen and pirate organizations. Just like now, when the golden light on the battleship has not disappeared. Qin Tian is on the bridge. Through the front window glass of the battleship, under the moonlight, he could vaguely see 5 or 6 battleships sailing towards him in a semi-enclosed fan shape. It is estimated that he was attracted by the golden light when his battleship was upgraded. Qin Tian didn't panic when he saw this. When the battleship is upgraded, although it cannot attack. But the outside world also don't want to attack him. As for after the upgrade is complete, Qin Tian didn't think that the large frigate that had been improved again with his own strength could not beat the opponent's frigate and several gunboats. Listen, people in front, you are already surrounded by us. Obediently go to the deck with your hands on your head. We can promise not to hurt you. Listen to the lighthouse language spoken by the other party. Qin Tian curled his lips in disdain. That's what these burglars are like. Every time he appeared on the scene, he hugged his head and surrendered, surrendering without killing. But occupying the world has a conquest rule. As long as the opponent boards your battleship and stays for 10 seconds, and you show no signs of resistance, then the will of the world will decide that you have been conquered. Everything about you will become the other party's spoils in an instant. At that time, even if they kill you, your ships will also no longer shatter themselves as normal. On the contrary, it will be completely accepted by the other party. So in the world of warships, I believe in the nonsense that surrender does not kill. That's purely brain sick. Put your own life in the hands of others. At this time, as the opponent's fleet is getting closer, Qin Tian also thoroughly saw the opponent's fleet lineup. 1 medium frigate, 5 large gunboats. In the stragglers. A fleet of this size is considered pretty good. Damn it, kid, I don't care who you are, if you don't come out again, after a while after your battleship is upgraded, we will completely tear you to pieces. Talking. The frigate also fired a few shots at him in a demonstrative manner. It's just that it disappeared after hitting Jingguangli. Shet, come out quickly, let the old man see if you are a woman or a man. Ha ha ha, it would be great if it was a bitch. Oh, come out quickly, sweetheart, let the uncle love you well. After the frigate finished shouting, the people on the gunboat also began to laugh unscrupulously. Qin Tian listened to these words. The expression in his eyes immediately became cold. And at this time, the golden light gradually dissipated. Slowly it started to get darker. Ha ha ha, baby, how do you hide now? Come out, even if you are a man, as long as you look good, I will plead for you and save your life. Oh, Fuck, Bob, can you please not say this in front of us? Qin Tian couldn't help but feel a chill when he heard these words. Goosebumps fell instantly. What the hell? These guys are to die for. The kind that even Jesus could not save. I said. Qin Tian's hand was directly on the start button of the radar and fire control system. As soon as the upgrade is complete, in no time he would let the ship's guns roar to vent his anger. 10 seconds passed. With the last flash of golden light, a milky white monster with a length of more than 130 meters appeared in front of the lighthouse pirates. Originally still unscrupulous, the laughing and provocative voice disappeared instantly. From the loudspeaker on the opponent's unknown battleship, there was also the sound of something heavy falling to the ground. I don't know whether it was my hand slipping or I was scared, so I dropped everything. Hey, misunderstanding, everything is a misunderstanding, we. The leader of the frigate at the head of the opponent saw this large frigate that was more than 2 circles larger than his frigate. Obviously don't know how to use the wording. Well, we saw your battleship being upgraded and were worried about your safety, so we came here to protect 023. That's right, it's the escort. In World of Warships, there are really not many well-intentioned gods chosen like us. Since your excellency has already upgraded, we will not disturb you. As he said that, the leading medium-sized frigate of the opponent turned slowly. Seems to want to turn around. But Qin Tian, who was standing on the bridge, could clearly see that the 76mm naval gun on the other side's bow was aiming at him all the time. To this, Qin Tian pressed the start button of the radar and fire control system indifferently. The entire battleship instantly entered a state of war. The fire control radar directly took over the naval gun and missile system. The gun barrels on the deck began to turn. As soon as I saw this posture, the other party's frigate was also very straightforward. He chose to fire without hesitation. The cannon roared. Anti-ship missiles began to lift off one after another. Several torpedoes also went into the sea. Bring a few white waves to come at a high speed. And with the firing of that frigate, the other 5 large gunboats also launched an attack not to be outdone. Naval guns started bombarding Qin Tian's battleship like torpedoes for free. Huge gunshots and strikes continued to erupt on Qin Tian's battleship. Group after group of flames appeared. It was as if Qin Tian's attack had been completely suppressed. And such a huge scene seems to have regained the confidence of the leader of the other frigate. The bow that was originally turned also stopped turning. They began to fire continuously around Qin Tian's battleship. 22%. Chapter 113 Unlock 50,122 megameters rocket launchers. And just when the opponent's anti-ship missile was about to land, the close-in defense guns on the Qin Tian battleship began to launch their power. 4 flame bullets pierced the sky like 4 flame whips. All the more than a dozen anti-ship missiles that came across the sky, which were not very fast, were all strafed and exploded. As for the torpedoes that kept bombarding and exploding on the bottom of the ship, however, it only caused a total of more than 600 points of damage to this large frigate. Even the impact is not as great as the bumps and shakes caused by the water waves after the explosion. And after the 4 close-in defense guns disintegrated the opponent's main means of attack, Qin Tian's frigate began to show its power like a peerless beast that suddenly woke up. 8 anti-ship missiles dragged their tail flames into the air, and after turning around, they headed towards the opposing frigate at an extremely fast speed. At that speed, I don't know how many blocks the opponent's anti-ship missiles were thrown. At the same time, several naval guns on his deck began to roar continuously. The leader of the frigate, who had regained some confidence, saw that his battleship lost nearly 1/5 of its HP after a few rounds of shelling. The whole person was suddenly confused. Fuck, what the hell is it? Why is the opponent's naval gun damage so high? At this time, he wanted to cry but had no tears. This is more than kicking the iron feet. This is literally kicking the hardest pure chrome plate. Then he didn't wait for him to think about it. The 8 anti-ship missiles in the sky swooped down and bombarded his frigate one after another. Although his near-defense guns are trying their best to intercept. But how could the near anti-aircraft mounted on a blank board be able to stop Qin Tian's enhanced green-quality anti-ship missile? In the end, except for the first 3 missiles that were blown up, the remaining 5 all fell on the deck of his battleship. In an instant, 5 groups of huge flames lit up. 5 scarlet damage values reduced by more than 120 floated above the head of the giant steel beast. Have to say, the weapons that are automatically configured after the battleship is upgraded are really hip. although the special effects look very shocking. But it took so long to knock out half of the opponent's battleship's blood. And he has to go to those launchers to make new missiles next. I have to say that I am speechless. Forget it, let's see what good weaponry has been unlocked after upgrading the large frigate this time. Let the fire control radar control the naval gun to aim at the medium-sized frigate and continue shooting. While walking outside, he opened the attribute panel of his battleship. After scanning the panel of his battleship, Qin Tian involuntarily stopped his footsteps. 252 122mm rocket launchers. Lion actually unlocked this big killer. Just see the display on the panel. Name: large frigate. Displacement: 3,610 tons. ER 132 times 15.1 times 5.8. Health volume: 15,000. IX: 2,668. Defense: 260. Strengthened fire control system. Power system: ZH 2500 gas turbine times 4. Speed: 28 plus 5 knots. Weapon system: 55 times the caliber Type 87 single tube 100mm naval gun Green X1, Yanlong 6 barrel 30mm near anti-automatic naval gun Green X4, dual 57mm naval gun Orange X1, 8-unit Yanlong 007 ship-to-air missile launcher X1, quadruple Yanlong Y9 anti-ship missile launcher X2, 50-tube 122mm rocket launcher X2 not unlocked, triple rotary torpedo launcher X2. Fire control radar Orange. Strengthen the missile device. Enhance the radar system. Enhanced torpedo system. Ordinary advancement. Low quality wood 80,000. Low quality plastic 100,000. Low quality nails 50,000. Low quality metal sheet 80,000. Can be advanced into a small destroyer common. High quality goods advanced. Ordinary wood 60,000. Ordinary plastic 70,000. Ordinary nails 40,000. Ordinary metal sheet 60,000. Can be advanced into a small destroyer excellent. Advanced advancement. 50,000 high quality wood. 60,000 high quality plastic. 40,000 high quality nails. 50,000 high quality metal sheet. Can be advanced into a small frigate exquisite. Look at the 50-tube 122mm rocket launcher with 2 seats. Qin Tian chose to unlock directly regardless of anything. Unlocking 50 tubes of 122mm rocket launchers requires 5,000 low-quality metal, 5,000 low-quality nails, and 5,000 low-quality plastic. Can the captain unlock the group? Yes. Backquote. Facing the question of the will of the planet, Qin Tian couldn't wait to answer out loud. This is a good thing. Too bad there are only 2. If there are 5 or 6 launchers, 250 or even 300 rockets are poured directly at the opponent at a time. What a scene that would be. More importantly, because of the modular assembly, this rocket launcher has the ability to automatically launch and automatically load. Before the Earth Star, after the Great Shah Empire created this kind of rocket launcher, the automatic reloading time was 5 minutes. But in this semi-digital magical world right now, he didn't know if anything would change. And as he unlocked it successfully, the fire control radar took over the 2 new big killers in an instant. As the night sky lights up outside the window, Qin Tian hurriedly walked back to the bridge to look around. I saw it behind my shipbuilding. A series of rockets pierced through the air with dazzling flames. Like a glowing firefly, it flew to the hull of the medium-sized frigate with incomparable precision. Immediately afterwards, there was a dense explosion. See this scene. Qin Tian immediately walked to the center console. Manipulating the radar imaging function zoomed in to capture the dense damage values above the clusters of flames. -15. The damage is not very high. But the problem is that every damage value is fixed -15. This is a bit scary. Does this mean that 50 tubes of 122mm rockets belong to the kind of attack damage that ignores defense? Otherwise, how could every damage value be the same? A good bazooka for 15 points of attack. What about the 2 100 rocket attacks? It is equivalent to blasting 2,500 damage in just 20 seconds. Although not as good as his orange quality dual 57mm naval guns. But in the weaponry that comes with the battleship upgrade, it's pretty good to be able to unlock this big killer. If you are lucky in the future, you can get good quality 122mm rockets. Then his damage will definitely explode in place. Put your gaze on the frigate in the distance. After the saturation blow of this wave of rockets, the medium-sized frigate, which had already been bombarded by Qin Tian's bombardment with less than half of its HP, immediately died. Large and small fireballs continued to explode on the hundreds of meters of the ship. Soon the entire battleship was blown in half. He didn't see the piles of materials 3 on the deck. Qin Tian immediately set his sights on the 5 large gunboats not far away. 23%. Chapter 114 The Lucky Nangong La. And those 5 gunboats saw that the boss who had advanced to a medium-sized frigate was so easily taken care of by others. How dare these little miscellaneous fish stop and resist? The 5 gunboats turned their heads and turned in 5 directions to prepare to escape. But how could Qin Tian let them go? Just because of the dead gay guy who kept shouting, "Sweetheart, let the uncle love you well," Qin Tian would not let this guy who stained his ears live any longer. "You are so basic. Why do you have to target me?" Qin Tian decided to leave an unforgettable impression on the other party today. Although the 5 gunboats wisely chose to run in 5 different directions. But I have to say, their battleship defense is really fragile. A salvo of 3 naval guns on the Qin Tian battleship almost emptied 1/5 of his blood. Average down. In 5 or 6 seconds, a large gunboat sank. The unlucky guy who was targeted first couldn't even run 50 meters. The ship was directly beaten to death. The whole fight came quickly. It's also over quickly. Qin Tian, who easily dealt with these miscellaneous fish, directly opened the door of the control room and walked out. There was a strong smell of gunpowder everywhere in the air. In the distance, 2 gunboats that hadn't completely sunk were burning with raging flames, illuminating the sea brightly. Qin Tian got off the boat building. 307 stepped to the second half of the battleship. Here he really saw the 2 rocket launchers looking up at 45 degrees to the sky. It's just that it's empty now. Qin Tian put his hand up. You can also feel the scorching heat. He used divine detective technique to check the attribute panels of these 2 big killers. I want to see if I can strengthen it. Item: 50 tubes of 122 mm rocket launcher. Quality: green. Attack: 15, fixed. Caliber: 122 mm. Maximum range: 40 kilometers. Maximum flight speed: 692 meters per second. Requirement: for every 200 units of low-quality metal pieces consumed, 1 round can be launched. Introduction: a monster with super firepower that can throw 50 rockets at the enemy in a very short time. It has a fixed damage that ignores defense and a self-loading effect that can carry out a saturated attack on the enemy. See, there is no enhanced advanced option. Qin Tian sighed helplessly. Immediately, only a batch of supplies can be consumed to repair the battleship first. Then came to the 2 triple rotary torpedo launchers to make up for the torpedoes. After finishing these, he then returned to the control room of the shipbuilding. Set the power system to 18 knots, BBBF. And put the fire control radar on alert. After ensuring that once a ship approaches, an attack will be launched. Only then did he return to the cabin below the deck in peace. Walk through the ammunition bays of several shipboard weapons. Consume a lot of metal pieces to fill up the ammunition compartment of each weapon. Qin Tian returned to the lounge and took out 2 breads to simply fill his stomach. Immediately he undressed, went into the bathroom and took a shower. Sleep after. The next morning, Qin Tian, who was sleeping soundly, was suddenly awakened by a loud noise. What's the situation? Been attacked. Too late to think about it. He casually put on a pair of trousers and ran to the deck. As a result, as soon as he came up, he was shivered abruptly by a violent sea breeze. Then followed by a deafening thunder. Gone. It was thunder. Qin Tian understood the reason and immediately closed the door. He strode back to the lounge to brush his teeth and wash his face. After washing, he took out a few slices of premium octopus from the refrigerator and went to the kitchen. Fry meat and soup on the side, while making plastic bottles to catch water. Filled up 430 bottles of water. He directly sent a private chat to Zhang Zongjun. General, 430 bottles of water, all of which need metal pieces. No problem. Message back there soon. Then within a minute, he initiated a transaction application to him. After 430 bottles of water were exchanged for 21,500 inferior metal pieces again. Qin Tian's octopus broth was also cooked successfully. After drinking a full bowl and eating a piece of bread happily, he covered the pot, going to have the leftover 2 bowls of broth for lunch. Then he got dressed, put on the handsome general officer's coat and go on deck. By this time the sky had begun to drop raindrops. The overcast sky is full of dark clouds. The lightning that accompanied the thunder continued to tear the sky. The waves more than 2 or 3 meters high on the sea slapped one after another on the deck of the frigate. Ignore this scene that looks like the end of the world at sea. Qin Tian came to the ship tower and observed carefully for a while. After determining that natural climate disasters such as typhoons or hurricanes will not form in this nearby area, then he got into the control room. It seems that there is nothing to be gained today. Qin Tian shook his head helplessly. Take off the big cap and set it aside. Then sit in front of the center console. First look at the screen of the radar scan. After seeing that there are no gods chosen within a radius of 100 kilometers, he opened the plain map of divine detective technique in his mind. I looked around and didn't find the treasure chest or the sailor in distress. The only item on the map is an ordinary material barrel at the oblique rear of his battleship. Qin Tian directly chose to ignore this. Get rid of your head in this blustery weather. Isn't that purely looking for excitement for yourself? Feel the violent shaking of the hull. Qin Tian couldn't help feeling secretly at this moment. It would be nice to have an island at this time. Not only do not have to worry about climate disasters, you can also comfortably roll a skewer in a hut on land. Dee. At this time, the prompt for private chat sounded. Qin Tian opened it and took a look. It turned out to be a message from Nangongla. This girl doesn't know what she's been up to since she left the Novice Sea. It feels like I haven't heard from her for days. Boss, are you there? Look at the message sent by the other party. Qin Tian directly replied in. Well, I rescued 2 female sailors in distress this morning, but they seem to have caught a cold from being soaked in the sea in this rainy day. I want to trade some top quality sea beast meat with you to make soup for them. Look at you, do you have muscles? Nangongla sent his request in one breath. Qin Tian was shocked when he saw this. Female sailor. And still too. I knock. What kind of fairy luck is this? What is the reason for him to run exhaustingly all over the sea these days? Isn't it just to search and rescue 1 or 2 sailors to help him share the pressure? But it turned out, not a single hair was visible. But Nangongla didn't say anything when he encountered it easily. 1 touch and 2. This is really more popular than people. I have it here, wait until I get it for you. After sighing about the other party's luck, Qin Tian immediately returned a message to the other party. Then pick up the big cap and put it on. After opening the door and braving the wind and rain, he returned to the lounge of the cabin. He took 30 units of top-quality octopus meat and traded them to the other party. Nangongla wanted to give Qin Tian some supplies. Qin Tian didn't want it. There is no need for materials. When you open those blueprints that you cherish but you don't need, you can just trade them to me. No problem. The 2 chatted casually for a few more words. The call ended. 23%. Chapter 115. The Forgotten Treasure. Happy New Year's Day, everyone. Qin Tian took 2 bags of bread from the refrigerator. Go to the kitchen and hug the pot. Then move the stove back to the control room above. Look at the rhythm of the storm may not stop at noon. He took the rice and the stove up by the way. At noon, I won't have to run down in the heavy rain again. Go back to the control room. Put the stove against a corner. Qin Tian put the coat and the hat aside. Picking up the plastic bottle and being connected with water is preparing to water the 3 saplings. Sudden, a light flashed in his mind. I thought of something that happened in this rainstorm when I just left the Novice Sea area in my last life. The day when it rained heavily in the last life. A cherry blossom ghost posted a location in the World Chat channel. It is said that in the heavy rain, it seems to have seen a phantom of a pirate ship that is bigger than an aircraft carrier. I hope to gather some powerful gods chosen to enter that sea area to explore together. At that time, they seem to have gathered more than 2,000 god-chosen people from various countries. Enter that sea area for exploration in the afternoon. However, less than 20 people managed to escape by the evening. Later, the naval fleet of the Lighthouse Empire summoned tens of thousands of elite gods above the frigate level from the Eurasian Federation to enter together. Only then did another large copy of World of Warships' Forgotten Treasure be revealed. When the battle was completed, someone broke the inside information in the World Chat channel. 70% of their fleet of tens of thousands of people was directly defeated by the pirate boss. But in the end their harvest is also gratifying. As the first god chosen who opened up this large dungeon, each of them received a blueprint for a warship of high to legendary quality. The quality of the blueprints obtained depends on the respective dungeon's land reclamation contribution. Perhaps someone does not know what the quality of these drawings represents. To put it bluntly, it is a bit similar to his advanced divine detective technique. Advanced blueprints or ordinary advances. Epic level is a high-quality advanced level. The legendary level is an advanced level. Qin Tian didn't know if the attributes of the battleship built with this kind of blueprint were higher than the attributes of his advanced supernatural detective technique. But compared to those gods chosen who have been upgraded normally, they must be much stronger. Of course, this kind of battleship has no upgrade function. So it can only be used as your own auxiliary ship. On the contrary, it has a fatal attraction to the major forces. Afterwards, some people questioned why there were such heavy casualties. There are also some people talking about the whole process of land reclamation in the chat channel. It turned out that the huge pirate ship with a huge attack damage at that time was not the rightful owner. It was the phantom of a pirate boss. So they fought desperately for a long time with no effect at all. Every time the opponent's health bar is almost empty, the opponent will continue to recover blood as if he has been drugged. Although one return is less than once. Finally, after they spent the whole day emptying the blood bar of the pirate ship for the 9th time, the pirate ship finally didn't regenerate blood. Instead, it shattered like glass. But at that time they did not receive any rewards or notifications. Later, the remaining gods chosen searched the entire sea area. Only then did the real body of the pirate ship be discovered. But the real body is much easier to fight. It was quickly blown away by their set fire. Everyone also received a corresponding first pass reward. But the more than 7,000 gods chosen ones who died could never be resurrected. And for Qin Tian, who already knew this detail in advance, how could he miss such a good opportunity to cut who? Because this dungeon originally required teamwork to fight together. It was up to the large force to contain the phantom of the boss with high blood and thick blood. Then some masters will destroy the pirate ship mommy. Doesn't this just give him a chance to cut his beard? While watering the saplings, Qin Tian opened the world chat channel. Turned up and down. Did not see any coordinate sharing. So he began to wait patiently. After about 10 minutes, it finally appeared. I saw a person named Kubo Kenma at everyone in the chat channel. Kubo Janjun at everyone. Big guys, I vaguely saw a super huge pirate ship in this area just now. I suspect it is some hidden boss. Is there any big guys to come together to explore in a team? Coordinate sharing. And as soon as he sent this message, naturally, most people don't believe it. What? Pirate boss? How big is it? Kubo Janjun at Mei Jie. It looks a few laps larger than an aircraft carrier. The sky is too dark, and the waves roll the boat too much, so I can't see it clearly. Hey, Sakuraman, I think you are crazy. How can you encounter a boss so easily? A pirate ship that is a few circles bigger than an aircraft carrier. I think you have seen a mirage. Kubo Janjun at Bai Fen Shu. Baga, damn Yanlong people, the image of the pirate ship is very real. Tom at Yuan Bao Kai Jen. Hee, Sakura people, how many mirages are unreal? If you say that the opponent's ship is about the same size as a battleship, I still believe it, but it's bigger than an aircraft carrier, then it's really a bit too exaggerated. Kubo Janjun at everyone. Forget it if you don't believe me, I've sent the coordinates anyway, I'll just wait here for a whole morning, if no one comes, I'll go in and check. 1. Ask for flowers. Ha ha ha, don't worry, I took a look, and it happened to be not far from me. Anyway, the weather can't salvage supplies, so I'll accompany you to join in the fun. And me, I am only 40 nautical miles away from there, and I can get there in about 2 hours. It is human nature to join in the fun. Including those Gentiles are no exception. Soon there were a lot of people below who expressed that they wanted to go and see the world. Qin Tian lost interest after taking a few glances at it. I just silently collected the coordinates of Kubo Kenshin's hair. Open it and look at the nautical miles of the distance. 7,320.899. At the speed of his battleship 33 knots. Running 24 hours a day without stopping. 0. Almost 5 days to run. Recall the time when the Eurasian Federation formed a team to attack. It's almost a week or so. So Qin Tian didn't delay. After adjusting the direction, sail towards the target direction at a speed of 28 knots. The storm at noon did not stop. On the contrary, it is getting bigger and bigger. Qin Tian ate 2 pieces of bread with warm broth in the control room. Then he lay on the recliner and opened the plain map of divine detective technique dangling with his eyes closed. Then fell asleep unconsciously. When I woke up again, it was already dark outside. Look at the watch. It was only past 4:30 in the afternoon. But it was almost dark outside. At this time, the sky was no longer thundering. The rain outside was not as heavy as it was at noon. But it still keeps going. Qin Tian got up and stretched. While moving his body, he opened the chat channel, wanting to see if Kenma Kubo and the others came out. Scroll up the chat content. Found them just started exploring more than an hour ago. And at this moment, many participants are already sending messages excitedly. Oh, for those who bought Karma, there is actually a pirate boss. Oh my god, Allah is above, that pirate boss's ship is really big, the oppressive feeling is too strong. I really doubt that more than 2,000 of us can beat him, but we decided not to try. The battle has begun, haha, if we win, then today will be a day of great harvest. As soon as they send out this information, many people below were beating their chests and stamping their feet enviously. I regretted why I didn't believe in the morning and went to see she. 23%. Chapter 116. Only 20 people survived. In response to this, Qin Tian set off a cold smile of disdain. I thought you should be thankful that you didn't run over in a rush. Otherwise, just wait a while and regret for life. See, there is still a little time. With nothing else to do, Qin Tian jumped to the compendium of Materia Medica again. Open the chat channel while jumping. Observe the progress of Kubo Kenma at any time. It took less than 10 minutes from the start of the war. Some people began to make desperate remarks with regret. Oh, damn it, it's too powerful. My large gunboat only took one shot from the opponent, and the Emperor dropped to 80%. Ah, my small frigate is about to be sunk. Who will save me? Too scary. This boss pirate ship is simply a devil. It actually has 500,000 blood. It's over. If you can't run away, whoever runs away, the solid bullet of the boss will hit his head. 6-7. Damn Sakuraman, he brought us into this desperate situation. My destroyer is less than half full of blood, fuck. These remarks made all the people who regretted it just now widen their eyes in astonishment. Until this moment, only then did they realize what a wise choice they had made. This kind of boss is helpless even more than 2,000 people. That is definitely a super large hidden copy. Passing is naturally rewarding. But if it fails, it will be the end of death without a place to bury it. They could already foresee what would happen to those 2,000 people. Like the chosen one who said that his destroyer's blood volume was less than half. Once he dies, then the strength of one's own home country is not a small weakening. Although it is in World of Warships. The frigates are everywhere, and the destroyers are as numerous as dogs. But that's only based on the millions of chosen in the entire World of Warships. Once it is divided into various countries in detail, the god favored of the destroyer can actually be regarded as a very high-level backbone. And among the more than 2,000 people, I don't know how many gods chosen people of this level are left. Actually, at this time in the outside world, many countries have already criticized the Sakura Empire crazily. The general meaning is, hateful Sakura Empire, even if your god chosen wants to die, you actually want to drag the god chosen from our country to be buried with you. It's really bad enough, although most of these countries are small countries with a small population. But it still made the diplomatic department of the Sakura Empire feel impatient, like a thorn in his back. And in World of Warships, Qin Tian was exercising until after 6 o'clock. Finally, he got the answer he wanted from the chat channel. More than 20 people survived. Basically the same result as in the previous life. It seems that my own rebirth has no effect on this matter. Then he can rest assured to implement his plan. It was completely dark outside. Qin Tian put on a general's coat and a big cap. Instantly. Many women in the live broadcast room were fascinated again. Can only say, this kind of general coat in deer style is really too temperamental. Qin Tian put it on. He is like a ruthless young general who is in charge of countless life and death powers. That temperament, properly 100% real man. Set the fire control radar to the same alert as yesterday. Qin Tian immediately carried the pot and moved the stove back to the cabin below the deck. Fry a few pieces of flying fish, and cut 2 fruits. Qin Tian opened the national chat channel while eating in the kitchen. I saw some Yanlong divine candidates who had just left the Novice Sea area were holding a tournament. Oh my god, the rainstorm in World of Warships is much scarier than that in the Novice Sea. At noon, I almost thought my medium-sized fishing boat was about to capsize. Brother, you are already a medium-sized fishing boat, which is good enough. I'm sorry, little brother. When a wave hit, the small fishing boat capsized halfway. Fortunately, I was resourceful and pushed all the supplies to the other side in the cabin. This is how I saved my life. Wow, it's been a few days, why are you still a small fishing boat? It's easy to upgrade a fishing boat to a gunboat when you enter this world of warships. I have to work harder in the past few days, row more boats, and open more wooden barrels for supplies. As long as I can get some crude oil, I will have money to upgrade the gunboat once I hang it in the trading market. It's easy to say, I rowed from morning to night these 2 days, but after a hard day's work, I was able to open 3 or 4 barrels of supplies. In the end, there was only the main barrel of crude oil in it. Hey, brothers, do you have anything to eat? My cabin is soaked in water, and I can't eat all the food in it. I feel like I'm going to starve to death now. Look at these remarks. Qin Tian couldn't help thinking of the scene when he first left the novice sea in his last life. Isn't that exactly the predicament? If it weren't for the divine detective technique in this life, which can explore the map with a radius of 30 nautical miles and the advanced function, it is estimated that it cannot grow up so fast. So it seems. Supernatural detective technique, the only talent of this SSS level, is indeed worthy of the name. As for those inquiring about food, Qin Tian has no sympathy at all. Compared with the novice sea territory, the trading market in World of Warships is much richer and more diverse. Especially in today's day of heavy rain. The chosen ones who hang food on it abound. As long as you have a little supplies in your hand, you can exchange for barbecue, broth, bread and other food. And these people would rather go to the national channel to sell miserably than spend dozens of units of supplies in exchange for food. Isn't it obvious what the idea is? It is clear that they want to go whoring for nothing, and then rely on their compatriots' status to morally kidnap a wave, so that they can be subsidized for free. To be honest, for this kind of people who are reluctant to spend even dozens of units, Qin Tian was really speechless. In his opinion, it is a miracle that this kind of person who is both deductive and greedy for cheap can come out of the novice sea alive. But for this kind of person, the best thing to do is to ignore it. Because once you help them, 4.1 then you should be prepared to wait to be blackmailed by the other party for a long time, and you will get nothing in return for being robbed. Just imagine, a person who is not willing to spend money to buy something for himself even if he is hungry for a day, but is always thinking about asking others to treat him. How could he be grateful? After all, he doesn't lack this food. This kind of person is simply buckling, not willing to consume their own supplies. Even after you invite him, not only will he not feel grateful. I still feel in my heart, this is the big meal I made by myself, I am really amazing. Qin Tian has seen too many examples of this in the world of warships. So I don't feel sorry for each other at all. After looking around, I didn't see any useful information. Qin Tian closed the chat channel. After washing up, I ran to bed and went to sleep. 23%. Chapter 117. Yanlong Navy also wants to get involved. The next day the weather cleared. After Qin Tian got up, he started to fetch water. He took 450 bottles in one go. Because when he gets up in the morning, suddenly, he thought of the blueprints in the central control room. One of them is a deck reinforcement blueprint. Advanced. After that, you can add 1500 HP to your battleship. Now that he is going to challenge the pirate ship boss alone next. If the battleship can increase its strength by 1 point, it will naturally increase by 1 point. After receiving the water, he exchanged 45,000 units of flax from Zhang Zongjun. Qin Tian, may I ask you something? Just when Qin Tian was going to wash up before closing the private chat interface, Zhang Zongjun suddenly sent him a message. What? Qin Tian combed his hair back with his hands and asked. I thought that the other party would not want to lead someone to join the challenge of the boss of the pirate ship, right? As expected, I saw Zhang Zongjun sending a message. I discussed it with Leng Lai and Lao Huang. We plan to take some people to explore the 11 pirate ship boss dungeon that the little devil mentioned in the world chat channel yesterday. We would like to invite you to form a team together. What do you think? Qin Tian secretly said in his heart, sure enough. Then asked, why do you suddenly want to challenge that pirate ship boss? You have seen how powerful it is. More than 2,000 people are all knocked down in less than 10 minutes. If you want to kill the other party, you may have to mobilize at least tens of thousands of people. Oh, there is no way. According to the report of the information soldier responsible for collecting intelligence, the Eurasian Federation has assembled an elite fleet of tens of thousands of people, and began to move towards that coordinate, and now it is 90% sure that it is a large copy. Once the Eurasian Federation preempts the first pass, the living space of the chosen ones of our Yanlong Empire in World of Warships will be squeezed again. If things go on like this, World of Warships may not have a foothold for our Yanlong Empire. When Qin Tian saw this sentence, he couldn't help feeling awe in his heart. This is the soldier of Yanlong Empire. Maybe their temper is stubborn and straightforward. I don't know how to play tricks and cater to the boss's sophistication. But let them keep the people of the country safe. Defend the dignity of the motherland from being trampled on by other countries. Then they are definitely obliged to go forward bravely. Just like the three generals Zhang Zongjun, Leng Lai and Huang Zishang. They do nothing else when they come in as the chosen ones. The only belief is to cultivate an elite naval division for the motherland in the world of warships who can fight, know how to fight, win battles, and dare to wield swords. The 7 islands of Beidou in the past 3 years are the best proof of the achievements of these 3 generals. If not them, the heads of the chosen ones of the Yanlong Empire may have long been the best feats that the chosen ones of other countries can show off to each other. And now, the Eurasian Federation assembled tens of thousands of people to attack the copy of the pirate boss. Obviously, these 3 generals of the Yanlong Empire were anxious. Because this kind of dungeon obviously needs a large fleet to attack. Rewards are often of a fleet nature. They were worried that after the Eurasian Federation successfully opened up this dungeon, in case the strength of the fleet soars, one ebbs and another, then it will not be far before they attack the remaining 4 Beidou islands of the Yanlong Empire. It was almost like this in the last life. After the Eurasian Federation successfully opened up this dungeon, the 3rd year, the Sun Never Sets Empire made a strong move and captured another island of the Yanlong Empire. As a result, the Yanlong Empire's strength in World of Warships plummeted. Thinking of all kinds of the previous life, Qin Tian immediately chose to agree. Yes, General Zhang, come here if you have time, but I don't think you need to bring many people. Huh, why? See Qin Tian's message. Zhang Zongjun was puzzled. I looked at the situation in the World Chat channel. The Eurasian Federation mobilized elite warships of frigate and above level this time. This is a high-level warship that they gathered together from more than a dozen countries. Our Yanlong Empire, how can we collect so many high-level warships? Zhang Zongjun also sighed when he saw this message. The reason why we hesitated before is because of this. This is what the 3 of them struggle with. Qin Tian naturally knew where the problem was. No matter how strong Yanlong's background is, after all, he is only his own country. How can it be compared with more than a dozen other countries? It's not a good thing to say. Even if the more than 10,000 gods chosen sent by others were wiped out this time. Those who died were only a small part of the elite god-chosen members of their respective countries. And what about the Yanlong Empire? Not much. Even if only 500 or 600 of the elites sent die, there will be a big problem. After all, in this world, the Yanlong Empire is still at war with alien creatures. A slight mistake could be fatal. The deaths of 500 or 600 god-chosen ones directly affected 1,000 or 2,000 god-chosen ones. And Qin Tian, who knows this well and also knows the essentials of clearing the dungeon, directly suggested. So we don't need to go to too many people, we need to be precise but not too many. Judging from the remarks made by the little devils yesterday, I always feel that this copy is not simple. General Zhang, you just bring 100 or so frigates and destroyers. I'll go to that sea area first to find out the situation. Okay, Leng Lai has to frighten those devils at the lighthouse, and Lao Huang has to sit on Tianshuan Island, so I'll lead the team there. I'm not far from here. If we set off today, we'll be there in about 5 days. Then our speed is about the same, and I will send you a set of coordinates when the time comes. After Qin Tian chatted with Zhang Zongjun, he casually took a piece of bread and ate it while walking. When I came to the warehouse, I put all the flax in the trading background and started to synthesize it. It took 36,000 units of inferior flax to produce 9,000 units of fine flax. 2,000 high-quality ropes were synthesized from 4,000 high-quality flax and rags at a ratio of 2 to 1. After finishing all this, he came to the control room. First, drive the horsepower 330 to the maximum 33 knots and start sailing at full speed. Then he picked up the ordinary deck blueprint on the center console. Select Advanced to start Advanced. May I ask if the captain consumes 5,000 high-quality wood, 5,000 high-quality linen, and 2,000 high-quality rope to advance the deck? Yes, Qin Tian nodded. With the disappearance of materials and drawings, a golden light flowed across the deck. I saw that the rough and thin deck turned into a delicate dark brown in an instant. At a glance, you can directly feel the improvement in quality. Qin Tian opened the attribute panel of the battleship. The blood volume of the battleship also changed from 15,000 to 16,500. Nodding in satisfaction, he stepped to the front of the center console. Pick up the other few drawings above. Shipyard drawings. Epic dual 57mm naval gun drawings. Ordinary ship figure blueprint. Not to mention the shipyard drawings. I only need to take the other two drawings to make the Genesis-class dual 57mm naval guns and the advanced figure of the ship. The combat power of the battleship can be improved by a large amount immediately. Ah, sailors and sailors don't matter if they don't meet them. Why can't you even meet a king-level sea beast? Qin Tian was thinking depressedly. On the one hand, he subconsciously opened the plane map in his mind. Then follow. His eyes suddenly widened. 23%. Chapter 118. 3 Sailors, King Squid. Only seen on the flat map. The direction of his battleship at 1 o'clock. There are icons of 3 little people floating in the sea. And that's not even counting. Not far from the 3 villains, there is an icon of a squid. This surprised Qin Tian endlessly. I go, what's happening here? Are you so lucky today? Not only did I meet a sea beast, but I also found a worker. This is too cool. Without even thinking about it, Qin Tian immediately steered the warship to turn. When the battleship sailed more than 10 nautical miles and came to the place where the 3 little people icons were. On the sea in front left, 3 men with black hair and black eyes were waving desperately in the direction of his battleship. Qin Tian manipulated the lever to slow down the sailing speed. Let the battleship slide forward slowly. And he himself made 3 ropes and walked out directly. When he came to the side of the ship to reveal his figure, the NPCs created by the will of the 3 planets were obviously overwhelmed with excitement. Waving his arms and shouting loudly, "Sir, please save us, save us. We've been in the sea for an hour or 2. The faces of the 3 shipwrecked crew members were filled with the desire to survive. You pull the rope. Qin Tian didn't say much. He quickly tied the 3 ropes to the battleship. Then the head holding the 3 ropes was thrown not far from the 3 of them with incomparable precision. In the studio, seeing this scene, many Yanlong people clenched their fists excitedly. Cheered, Niu Pai, the combat power of the Qin God battleship will increase exponentially now. Indeed, even though Qin Shen himself had no problems with the central control before, it always gave me a feeling of being in a hurry. I think 2 of the 3 people rescued this time are wearing sailors' clothes, so they can help Qin Shen to share a lot of work. Baga, what kind of luck is this Qin Tian, to search and rescue 3 crew members at once? Fake, how can our God chosen fight him now? Unless it is a cruiser or a battleship to suppress otherwise, the dozen or so frigates are no match for him at all. Let's not talk about frigates, I feel that even a dozen or so destroyers may not be his opponents. Shiba, we can set up a trap to lure him into the bait. Hey, are you an idiot, the big cold man upstairs? Didn't you see that the radar scanning in his central control is more than 100 kilometers away? Do you think he can't detect our encirclement circle? The more a group of foreign devils discuss, the more hopeless they feel. It seems that it is almost impossible to kill this Qin Tian before he grows up. As for the future, the opponent will upgrade the frigate to a destroyer. Then don't even think about it. There is no hope of killing it at all. And in World of Warships, after the 3 shipwrecked crewmen climbed up along the rope, they all collapsed on the deck, panting heavily. Sir, thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, the 3 of us would have to explain here today. Backquote. After resting for about 10 seconds, one of them was a little older. The middle-aged man in his early 40s stood up and saluted Qin Tian gratefully. Thank you, sir. The other 2 youths in their 20s also saluted one after another. It's okay, it's easy to do, let's go, I'll take you to the lounge first, let you take a shower, and then change into cleaner clothes. Qin Tian smiled at the 3 of them. Then he took them down to the cabin. After getting a set of military uniforms for the 3 of them, and told them the location of the bathroom and toilet. Settle them down. Qin Tian didn't stay too long. Go directly to the deck and wait in the control room. Go back to the control room. He took another 3 bottles of water and put them on a small table near the door. Waited for about 5 or 6 minutes. I heard footsteps outside. Then the 3 of them came in front of Qin Tian wearing clean and tidy military uniforms. Thank you for the clothes, sir. It was still the middle-aged man in his 40s who spoke first. Look at their chapped lips. Qin Tian pointed to the water on the table, smiled slightly and said, drink a few sips of water first. What are your plans next? Thank you, sir. The three of them didn't refuse when they saw the water. After thanking him, he unscrewed the cap of the bottle and drank the whole bottle of water with a gudong gudong. Drink a whole bottle of sweet and refreshing bottled water. Immediately, the three of them felt like they had been reborn. And after hearing the question behind Qin Tian, the three looked at each other. They all gave a military salute to Qin Tian and said, please take us in, sir, our ship has been sunk by that sea beast, there is nowhere to go. Sir, my name is Yu Hai Hai. I was a sailor on the previous destroyer. I have no other skills, but I have more strength. I can repair everything on the cabin and deck. These two little guys, this one is Yao Lang, and this one is they are called Wei Chen, and they are the two boys with the best control skills on our battleship. As long as you accept us, sir, we will definitely work hard. Quote, after Yu Dai finished speaking impassionedly, Qin Tian heard the voice of the will of the world suddenly sounded in his mind. Yu Dai A level, Yao Lang A level, Wei Chen B level, request to join, do you agree? Agree. Qin Tian nodded without thinking. Joke. Can he disagree with this? In the past few days, he has been in a hurry to wait for these tool people to share the pressure and work for him. And this A level, and B level are too cool, right? General crew members are also divided into 9 levels. SSS, SS, S, A, B, C, D, E, and F from high to low. The 3 crew members in front of them already belong to the middle and high-level elite crew members. Ding! Congratulations to the captain for recruiting 3 new crew members. The crew system has been unlocked, and the captain can check it by himself. It's done. $G at percent at carat. Qin Tian heard the prompt of the will of the world. There was a satisfied smile on his face. Immediately nodded to the 3 of them and said, okay, it happens that my battleship is also short of manpower, so you should stay, and I will not miss any of the treatment you deserve. Don't look at these search and rescue crew members as NPCs created by the will of the planet. But they also have flesh and blood and emotions. So treat them like normal people. Ah, thank you, Captain. Please rest assured, Captain, we will definitely work hard and never disappoint your expectations of us, Captain. And heard Qin Tian's words. The 3 were also ecstatic. Immediately saluted and said in unison, okay, let's get to work then. Hello Wang, you just mentioned sea beasts. I don't know what level sea beasts are. Qin Tian asked curiously. Now he lacks the best teeth of king-level sea beasts. Returning to the captain, it is a king-level squid. That guy has a lot of blood and is also very powerful. Our destroyer was caught by its 2 wrists. We couldn't even run, so we were forced to die by it. The attack sank, a ship of more than 180 people, only we escaped by chance. Yu Hai said with a look of lingering fear on his face. The voice was full of fear. This made Qin Tian couldn't help thinking. These NPC tool people created by the will of this planet are not all human beings who really existed on this planet in the last era, right? Otherwise, why does every search and rescue crew member have a very clear logic and background story? Put all these unimportant things to the back of your mind. Qin Tian then said to the 3 of them, that's just right, I've been looking for king-level sea beasts to kill. Yao Lang, Wei Chen, you go to control the battleship, let's meet this Squid King for a while. 24%. Chapter 119 Shocked. Is this the firepower of the frigate? What, Captain? Think twice, that Squid King is huge, like a small hill, and the 2 tentacles are 100 meters long. If our ship is sucked, it will be very troublesome. Quote. When the 3 new crew members on the opposite side heard that Qin Tian actually planned to find trouble with the Squid King, his face immediately turned green. They all discouraged them with horror. What the hell? It was not easy for them to escape from each other's hands. As a result, the water I just drank in my stomach has not had time to digest it. I was told that this ship was also going to attack the Squid King. This fright came very suddenly. What happened to the Squid King? Did you eat your rice? Or did you drink your plain boiled water? Why is it all about dealing with the Squid King? Could it be that they have to experience another shipwreck? But the problem is, will they still have the lucky escape this time? Don't worry, battleships are different from battleships. Before, I controlled a battleship by myself and easily killed an octopus king, and got 100 top quality teeth from the opponent. Do you think I will take my life as a joke? Qin Tian patted the shoulders of the three of them. Said in an indisputable tone. Go to work, maybe when you control this frigate and fire, you will fall in love with it. I smiled confidently. Qin Tian turned around and walked to the bridge to sit down. 873 this. Ah, he sighed heavily. The three looked at each other and shook their heads helplessly. Then they separated and went to their respective positions. Yao Lang walked towards the central control. Wei Chen came to the rudder. Yu Dai went down from the shipbuilding and wandered around on the deck. Want to see what's special about this frigate? Even the destroyer before them was sunk by the Squid King. He couldn't think of any way a frigate could hold it. Just a circle down. After observing all the battleship weapons, the whole person couldn't help being a little surprised. Because he found that these weapons seemed to be much more sophisticated and powerful than those he had seen before. Each accessory is stronger and of higher quality. And as the battleship continued to move forward, at the moment, it is more than 10 kilometers away. They could already see the huge monster floating in the sea like a hill. On the bridge, Qin Tian looked up at the giant squid that was 3 or 4 circles bigger than the giant octopus king. I couldn't help but feel ashamed in my heart. IFK. How big is it? This guy won't be the super dungeon boss with hundreds of thousands of blood, right? Qin Tian immediately used divine detective technique to check. Elite Squid King. 42,000. After seeing this scene, only then did Qin Tian breathe a sigh of relief, and then he didn't react. No wonder it's so big. It turned out to be a king-level elite monster. He had heard about this kind of boss in his previous life. The items obtained after elimination will be twice as much as usual. It is exactly the good boss he urgently needs now. Visually estimate the distance between the two sides. There are about 10 kilometers to go. Qin Tian said to Yao Lang immediately. Yao Lang, use the fire control radar to release 122mm rockets at that guy, and keep shooting until the end. Yao Lang checked and operated while hearing the words. At the same time, he subconsciously repeated, release 50 tubes of 122mm rockets and start releasing. As he presses the button, a large cloud of rockets suddenly rose from behind. Like locusts crossing the border, they blasted towards the elite Squid King 10 kilometers away. At the same time, Yao Lang quickly called up the radar scanning imaging screen to directly zoom in. From above, Qin Tian could clearly see that the elite Squid King was hit by hundreds of rockets in an instant. The head is densely covered with -15 damage value. The battleship continued to break through the waves. About 20 seconds later, another rocket shot into the sky. The elite Squid King, who managed to recover from the smoke of gunpowder, was once again hit by saturation before he had time to act. But this time the opponent was prepared. After resisting hard, roaring, he waved 10 huge and slender tentacles and rushed towards the frigate violently. The huge body rolled up the monstrous waves. The low roar made the whole battleship tremble. But I haven't waited for a minute of arrogance. It was another wave of rockets that baptized it crazily. Wait until the distance between the two parties reaches 5 kilometers BBBI. 50 tubes of 122mm rockets have fired all stored rockets. A total of 20 waves of saturation attacks were done. In front of the center console, Yao Lang and Wei Chen looked at the half-empty health bar above the elite Squid King's head. I just feel like my worldview has been completely shattered. IFK. Is this a frigate? Can a frigate have this firepower? Those who ride horses are almost as good as cruisers. Wei Chen, turn the battleship sideways to keep a good distance from the opponent. But before they could think about it, Qin Tian issued another order. Yao Lang, now start bombarding with the 2 main guns with the longest range, firing Yanlong Y9 anti-ship missiles. Hear Qin Tian's order. The 2 hurriedly executed. Full left rudder, Y9 anti-ship missile launched by Yanlong. Watching the elite Cuttlefish King begin to undergo the baptism of shells again. Qin Tian nodded in satisfaction. Just keep this rhythm and continue attacking. I'll go down and add ammunition to the rocket launcher. Finished. He walked out of the control room. Go down to the cabin and come to the ammunition bay of the rocket. Continue to consume metal pieces for ammo resupply. Have to say, although the 50-tube 122mm rocket launcher is very cool to use. In a short period of time, 20 rounds can kill nearly 30,000 blood of the enemy. But this consumption is indeed a reality. When he spent a minute or two refilling the ammunition bay with rockets, the 6,000 inferior metal sheet just disappeared. This really fits that sentence. War is about money. The money is gone. The war is lost. Back on the bridge of the console again. Looking at the huge sea beast that is less than 3 kilometers away. Qin Tian ordered Yao Lang to continue firing 122mm rockets. When the rocket fired more than 10 rounds, Qin Tian called to stop immediately. Wei Chen, turn around and approach slowly. Yao Lang, blast me hard with the main cannon. I want to see the opponent's unsinkable corpse when the battleship approaches. Yes, the two responded loudly with confidence. Then he began to calculate the best sailing speed and attack method in his mind. Qin Tian, who had already decided the overall situation, left the bridge. Walk out of the control room and onto the deck. Captain, you, awesome, you are really awesome, I have never seen such a ferocious frigate. When Qin Tian heard this, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitched slightly. When the battleship slowly came to less than 1 mile away from the elite Squid King, the two orange 57mm shells finally emptied the last trace of blood in the opponent's remaining blood vessels. I saw that the 10 tentacles that were still stretching their teeth and claws froze for a moment, and then drooped instantly. The huge corpse also began to sink gradually. There was no pause. When the frigate passed the body of the elite Squid King very silky, Qin Tian also heard the reminder of the will of the planet. I found the body of the elite Squid King, should I respond? Yes. Qin Tian nodded. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 2,000 units of top-quality Squid King meat. Congratulations to the captain for obtaining 200 top-quality sea beast teeth. 24%. Chapter 120 Genesis Class Dual 57 Megameters Naval Guns. Looking at the 2,000 pieces of squid meat that appeared on the deck, Qin Tian rubbed his head speechlessly. Good guy. My refrigerator is almost out of space. This produced so much meat again. Where does this go? But luckily, it's top-quality meat. Even if it is left outside for a month, it will not deteriorate and rot. Qin Tian went out and closed a wooden basket. He handed it directly to Yu Dai and said, Old Yu, send all these slices of meat to the kitchen. Yu Hai nodded, after saying, no problem. Then he began to pick up the meat piece by piece into the wooden basket. Then he easily walked into the door not far away with a basket of squid meat sticking out. Qin Tian gestured a thumbs up. As expected of an A-rank sailor. This arm strength is really awesome. Don't care about these squid meat anymore. Qin Tian returned to the control room. Give Wei Chen the coordinates of this time's destination. Wei Chen, we have to reach this place within 5 days, how about it? Is there any problem? No problem, it's guaranteed to be done. After estimating the time in his heart, Wei Chen gave a guarantee confidently. That's good, Yao Lang, I will replace the dual 37mm naval guns on the battleship with dual 57mm naval guns of several grades later, you can get familiar with them later. With that said, Qin Tian picked up 2 blueprints from the center console. Okay, Captain, Yao Lang quickly replied. Qin Tian nodded. After explaining to them, he walked out of the control room with 2 cards. Come to the green quality double 37mm naval gun. Qin Tian unloaded it directly. Then he took out the Epic Class Dual 57mm naval gun drawing. Select Advanced. Manufacturing Genesis Class Dual 57mm naval guns requires 4,000 high-quality plastics, 3,000 high-quality metal sheets, 3,000 high-quality nails, and 200 top-quality sea beast teeth. Manufacture. Qin Tian nodded with anticipation in his heart and said, this is a creation-level weapon. Genesis-level water purifiers are so awesome. Can this Genesis-level weapon be worse? With Qin Tian agreeing. The unheated 200 top-grade sea beast teeth on the deck disappeared along with Curry's pile of supplies and the blueprint in Qin Tian's hand. Then I saw a pair of 57mm naval guns appearing in the green 37mm position just now. Seeing this, Qin Tian couldn't wait to use the divine detective technique to investigate. Item. Dual 57mm naval guns, high and flat. Quality. Genesis. 530 to 680. Effective range. 20,000 meters. Effective shooting height. 15,000 meters. Durability. 5,000. Effective rate of fire. 95 rounds per minute. Requirement. Every 500 units of high-quality metal pieces consumed can be fired for 1 minute. Hiss. Look at the 530 to 680 damage. Qin Tian's eyes immediately lit up. In other words, as long as the gun is fired. The double cannon fired. As long as it hits the enemy, the minimum damage is 1060. If you add the advanced 57mm armor-piercing bullets, there will be an additional 35 basic attacks and 38 penetration attacks. Double cannons hit at the same time, that is 1133 damage. However, using advanced 57mm armor-piercing bullets seems to be a good deal. Only 500 units of high-quality metal are produced for 100 pieces. And I personally control it, and it is also 500 units of high-quality metal pieces to shoot with ordinary ammunition for 1 minute. So look at it this way. Still, armor-piercing ammunition is cost-effective. It seems that the orange-quality universal autoloader has to be replaced with this Genesis ship gun. The damage of the orange naval gun is only 188. If the ammunition is not hit, it is gone. But this creation-level main gun is different. Hit a cannon to top a cannon. While thinking, he went down to the side of the cabin. The orange-quality universal automatic loader was directly replaced into the ammunition bay of this Genesis-class dual 57mm naval gun. At a glance, there are only more than 20,000 units of low-quality metal sheets and more than 1,000 units of ordinary and high-quality metal sheets left. Qin Tian sighed helplessly in his heart. It's really a good car with good oil. This guy and the 50-tube 122mm rocket launcher are both powerful killers. But their consumption is also leveraged. Let's look at the advanced requirement of 10,000 units of high-quality metal sheets on the prow. Qin Tian was speechless. Can't it be built today? After coming to the warehouse to synthesize more than 1,000 ordinary metal pieces into 500 units of high-quality metal pieces, he then consumed 4,000 low-quality metal pieces to synthesize 1,000 units of high-quality metal pieces. Go back to the ammunition bay of the Genesis-class double 57 naval gun. Qin Tian directly made all the 3,000 high-quality metal pieces in his hand into high-grade 57 armor-piercing bullets and put them in the orange automatic loader. Ask for flowers. With these 600 armor-piercing shells, I believe it is enough to support the battleship and overthrow an elite king-level sea beast like before. Immediately afterwards, Qin Tian went to the ammunition bay of the rocket launcher and consumed 2,000 low-quality metal to replenish the ammunition of the rocket launcher. Then he came to the kitchen. Looking at the piles of super squid meat piled on the stainless steel table, he thought for a while and directly opened Zhang Zongjun's private chat to send a message. General Zhang, do you need the meat of the best Squid King? Opening square bracket question mark closing square bracket. The other party quickly came back with a message. But what came back was 3 question marks. This Qin Tian looked like Monk Jonger couldn't figure it out. Are you sure it's the top quality Squid King meat, not the top quality squid meat? See this message. Qin Tian narrowed his eyes slightly. With a thought, he opened the data backpack and took a look. It didn't take long to notice the difference. All the meat he harvested before had names like Superior Shark Meat, Flying Fish Meat, and Superior Octopus Meat. But the only Squid King that was hunted this time was Superior Squid King Meat. To be honest, in his last life, he devoted all his energy to surviving. I haven't heard anything about this in the chat channel. He really didn't know the difference between the two. In line with the good habit of asking when you don't understand, Qin Tian sent a message directly. It's the top quality cuttlefish king meat, what's wrong? General Zhang, is there anything special about it? You kids should have hunted and killed an elite king level sea beast. Zhang Zongjun quickly replied. World of Warships only has a small chance to collect this kind of meat with the word king only after hunting the elite king level sea beasts. Qin Tian replied, yes. Wait for the following. Meat with the word king has the effect of improving and strengthening human body functions. Zhang Zongjun sent a message and said. Opening square bracket question mark closing square bracket. This time it was Qin Tian's turn to ask questions. I lost. I was surprised for a long time and you just told me this. Isn't that similar to flying fish meat? Qin Tian said he didn't care. He also ate flying fish meat. Although I can feel that my body is a bit stronger than before. But let's be honest, this kind of intensity is not even as good as those boxers who exercise according to strict standards all day long. According to strict standards all day long. According to strict